Patrick Dempsey just scrolled by. He has like a wide face.
Oh, I don't like... Yeah, that show's...
It's a really sexist, creepy, freaky show, basically, is what's wrong with it.
Meredith Grey.
Meredith Grey. Chin Boy, who's Patrick Dempsey, apparently. And yeah, I learned this. He's her boss. She's like basically like just past being a med student, and she's like at this learning hospital.
And they fall in love.
And he's like her boss, and he's like a resident doctor or something, and then they fall in love. It's a bit weird, basically. Right, load game. Where were we? Did it save? Yes, episode 1, act 3, scene 5. We were 1 hour in. Amazing. Is it even on a streaming surface? I assume that you either find it in the woods like porn, or
it's ABC.
Game is still quite loud. I'll turn it down just a second. I assume you either find it in the woods.
And there was a making out scene, and they cut to someone's been raped. I was like, Jesus, I can't.
Or you find it on like obscure cable channels, like, you know, Drama CBS. Anything is streamable if you cheer, yes. Can we turn the obnoxious music down? Music is much, much lower now. There we go. I'll leave the speech up just because that's what we're watching, right? All of the Silas criticisms are completely right and true. It feels like when I went on Twitter and said that Hannibal was the worst thing I'd ever seen.
It wasn't the worst thing you've ever seen.
No, but I said it's the worst episode of TV I've seen in a long time.
That's it.
Yes. And at least 3 separate people have messaged and gone, no, it's great. Or like...
Whisper. Who? I can't hear you. Could they hear you?
We could not... Probably not. I don't know. Probably, to be honest. We could not finish Hannibal. It was very poor.
We didn't even finish the first episode.
We watched 90% of the first episode.
Whisper here again.
We watched 90% of the first episode.
Why don't you whisper in my ear? It's all ASMR.
Oh, Emma, that's disgusting what you just
whisper.
said. Hang on, I'm tabbing out for perfectly wholesome reasons. Let's go
Well, I'm wrong too, because I think I disliked it more than Kane did.
Oh yeah, you hated it even more than me. You got angry at it.
Did I?
Yeah, you were like,
angry.
what the fuck is this? Get it off. I was perfectly willing to play out the last 5 minutes
Well,
of the
there was
show.
like 5... No, there
Emma
was 10
was
minutes
not.
left. There was 10 minutes left.
Yeah, Emma was like, no, this is fucking getting off right now.
Well, I already had a big problem with it because I didn't like the idea of them being a couple. Because I thought that's wrong. Like, somebody who's... Oh, that sounds awful.
Emma, you just said you liked me whispering.
Somebody who's a serial killer and a cannibal and abuses somebody else. And then they make them a couple and people are like, oh, this is great, they're a couple. It's queer representation. I'm like, what? Why would you want queer representation to be a guy being... It's like 50 Shades of Grey, but for queers. Do you know what I mean? It's bad, it's abuse, it's fucked up. So like, I was like... You can also donate using bits or... That already put me off, because I didn't like that idea. Type hlink to see a nice... Are you listening to me?
Are you listening?
Yes, I can hear it.
ASMR. This was like an ADHD brain.
We can't, Emma, we can't hear you over the harvest.
Yes, that was the point.
Oh, is that what you did?
Yeah.
That's rude. That is rude.
I love you.
Right, I'll say it again.
Oh my fucking god.
That was rude. I was already very iffy on Hannibal, the TV series, because, like, I didn't really like the idea that they became a couple. I thought that's really fucked up. Like, you know, an abusive cannibal serial killer, and then they become a couple and it's meant to be romantic. It's like, no, that's gross. And I've seen tweets saying this is great queer representation. And I'm like, no, it's not. An abusive man going out with another man, it's not great representation. It's like 50 Shades of Grey, but for queers.
There. Let's go back and load the game.
Like 50 Shades of Grey is not a love story. Twilight is not a love story. And Hannibal is not a love story.
What about Mindhunter? I will never watch Mindhunter because it looks shit.
What's Mindhunter?
Mindhunter is it David Fincher?
Is that the...
I think it's David Fincher and it's about FBI profiling.
Yes,
Again,
yes.
more debunked propaganda shit.
It's not been debunked.
I know, but it's discredited.
Not discredited. They still use it. Like.
I know they do. But some people still don't eat MSG because they don't like Asians. That doesn't mean it's not. It's real.
That's true.
Slot one.
Like, I get it. Like, I'm not saying, oh, the gay relationships have to be lovely relationships. But it just seems weird to me that you'd, like, have a murderer fawn over the man and then be like, yay!
Yippee! Murders!
I mean, no, it's not the murders. It's the fact that you're having a murderer go with a man. And that the man's supposed to be the good guy, the FBI, whatever.
Yippee!
I mean, that's fucked up.
Yippee!
You shouldn't romanticize that guy. Like, we have to kill off this troll. The bad boy is not sexy. Stop glamorizing abusive bad men.
I'm just gonna say Spike from Buffy and then we'll move on.
I was 12 years old. And when he tried to...
I'm just gonna say it and move on.
And when he tried to rape her, which I don't think the show realised he did, then I stopped fancying him. And I was 12.
Show him!
See, I grew up. I'm not still fancying bad men in my adulthood.
Oh, I guarantee that there's at least 5 people in chat who will be like, oh yeah, Spike from Buffy. Cat ears. Oh, for fuck's sake. Do you want cat ears or will I?
I'll go for cat ears.
Yay. Yippee.
It's the same with Twilight, just so people don't think I'm picking on a gay show.
And elf ears. Oh.
Like, I don't want people think I'm picking on the show for being
with
gay.
With jingles, jingle the ears.
It's like, it's the same with Twilight. It's the exact same shit. Like, Twilight was huge and I was in secondary school, and all these teenage girls, and I was also a teenage girl, were like, it's so romantic. And I'm like, it's not romantic. You're being brainwashed. You're being tricked.
There.
I heard that Josh Whedon wrote Spike to be more and more of an asshole because he was annoyed about his popularity and having to keep him on the show. I read that too, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know much about Buffy behind the scenes lore, to be honest.
Well, he was wasn't it? Turned out he was an asshole, Josh Whedon.
Yes, Joss Whedon is a notorious creep.
Yeah.
But, you know. Slot one. Through patient eyes. Can't remember what we were doing. Click play.
I think
Episode one,
creeping
Act
into
two,
someone's house and watching them sleep
Episode
all
one.
night. Yeah, that's Twilight.
Yes. Well, also, it didn't really sink in Twilight.
You haven't watched
No,
Twilight.
but when I've seen bits of the first one because my mum liked Twilight.
All of that used to confuse me as a young man. Why are... Yes! Hold on now, you be quiet a second. I want to rant about this. It's like... The thing that's really upsetting about Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey, I know there's other examples, but those are the most famous ones, where an abusive man is made out to be the perfect boyfriend. And then eventually husband. It's like, those are written by women. Because you could kind of say, if it's written by a guy, you could be like, well, that's just a typical sexist guy, he's been raised wrong, toxic masculinity, don't know better. But these are women. A woman wrote Twilight. A woman wrote 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, but she's a Mormon.
She's still a woman.
I think Mormon takes priority. It's like cop.
She should know. Like, does she? What is her name? Stephanie Myers. Does she want her boyfriend to come in and watch her sleep? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just...
It's all a kink thing, isn't it? Like,
well, no,
but they're pretending it isn't.
There's a difference between kink and abuse.
Well, that's what I mean, but it's like weird sexual fantasies that they're like putting on everybody else. Like, this is normal.
Well, no, it doesn't come across as kink. It comes across as he's abusive.
He's a few hundred years old. This is what I was about to say, is that it didn't quite sink in that he's like 700 years old or like 400
or something.
He's like 400 years old in that movie.
We watched
and hanging around a high school and picking up girls.
We watched a review of a movie, The Best of the Worst, by Regular Media, and they were like reviewing a movie that was a clear rip-off of Twilight. What was that called?
The Last Vampire on Earth.
Yeah, and it was just Twilight, but made for like $10.
Twilight is written by a Mormon and it shows canonically the reason all the vampires are white. Yes, I remember reading that.
Yeah, because they had a black guy play a vampire in the first movie.
Yeah, and she was really angry.
She was like,
about
no,
it.
the vampires are all white.
She was really angry and then wrote something later that was like, when you're a vampire, it bleaches your skin.
You just turn white.
Yeah, you turn into a white guy if you're a vampire. Insane, woman. Like, fucking insane. I love it. Right, we're on Act 3, Seattle Grace, Day 1, 12:45 p.m. Have you watched much Grey's Anatomy?
Why did you have to remind me of my shame?
What?
I had a crush on Spike.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Grey's Anatomy.
At least I got the message when he tried to, and then I stopped. Because then didn't he come back for the final season and they got back together again?
He was like, sorry about that.
Because he went and got a soul.
Yes, exactly. Changes your nose and face shape and makes your hair straight too. I think so, genuinely.
That would be
I think they were like, oh, it makes you more sort of European looking or something.
It's not just supposed to be someone with African features turned albino or something.
I think it's meant to be that it like sort of structures you to become like
European looking.
like a racist vampire or something.
What the fuck?
I think that's it. Genuinely.
I think I should turn your skin bright blue.
Like a smurf. She's been real hell to the local Native Americans. Yeah, there's a lot of weird fetishization of that too, isn't there?
Well, they're all
yeah,
what are they?
they're all
werewolves.
Werewolves.
This whole race is werewolves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the whole imprinting thing.
Oh yeah.
That was your big like ick thing, right?
Well, like yeah, because like I said, I knew that Twilight was iffy, but like I was a teenage girl when it was huge, so it was very popular. And then you kind of got this sort of, I'm not like the other girls, I'm cool, I hate Twilight, and that kind of became annoying as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I read about the imprinting thing, then I was like, oh yeah, they probably have a point. This cannot be defended. We need to get them away from the hands of young girls.
Making them albino also makes sense if they don't like sunlight. It's all sort of, I guess. I guess that's probably her argument, right?
Well, no, her argument is probably that when you're a corpse, you go pale.
Do you?
Well, you know, deathly white is an expression.
I know, but do black people go pale when they're dead?
Well, she's saying that vampires wouldn't be black people, they turn into white people.
Yeah, but so what's the argument there logically?
Because she's saying they're dead, so they become white?
But black people don't turn white when they die.
How do you know?
They do, to be honest. Do they?
Black people turn white when they die? I've never thought about it.
You know there's a plant sap that makes your skin burn in sunlight?
Not white, but less red. Black people aren't red.
I mean, just in general, do you lose the redness in your cheeks?
Oh, yes, obviously. Well, I always thought the cheeks were pink.
Pink.
Go away.
Pink cheeks with freckles. No, white. Being a vampire changes the bone structure too, new vamp lore. I mean, that kind of does, like when you think of vampire, like in Elder Scrolls or Buffy, everybody, when they become a vampire, gets bigger cheekbones and...
Do they?
Like basically more angular, and everybody looks like Tilda Swinton.
Well, I think that's because that's the kind of villain look.
Yeah.
That's the kind of androgynous Hollywood villain look. Anyone who looks like that is usually cast as villain.
It's like Tilda Swinton is perfect casting for a vampire.
There's even a TV tropes term for it, villainous cheekbones. Mm-hmm. All the villains have these really well-defined
like Benedict
cheekbones.
Cumberbatch cheekbones.
Yeah, like villainous cheekbones is the TV trope.
Patrick Cushing cheekbones.
Yeah,
he's got the sharpest cheekbones I've ever seen on a person. He could probably cut you with those cheekbones. Anyway, let's play the game.
He and Christopher Lee were great buddies.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Scene 1, Scene 3, Scene 5 we're on. When you're top rooster, you gotta keep all the hens happy. I wish I was dead.
That sounds kind of
cool.
That sounds kind of sexist.
We're Mark, apparently. Who's Mark?
That man.
Oh, is this Mr. Chin? He impregnated a woman.
Did he? That's not nice. Well, unless she wanted to be impregnated.
There's like Sleazy Guy and Mr. Chin.
Is there anyone in this hospital you're not trying to sleep with?
When you're top rooster, you gotta keep it
Oh,
happy.
God.
Emma!
Patient, okay?
What do you mean? Oh, Emma, that was
Something's
disgusting.
eating Derek. Which one's Derek?
I am not...
Find out what's going on.
I am not a hen.
Is this,
That's Derek, yes.
wide-faced chin boy? Mr. Beard?
I don't know, I've only seen... I've only seen clips of this.
Is he the one who's having sex with Grey?
Meredith Grey.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know.
I've only seen clips of it.
British Medical Council has gone to shit. I need to find out what's going on. Okay, we need to scatter doubts.
This is a very strange game.
We need to scatter our doubts away.
Well, this is
so
a
that we
very
can-
strange game.
What do you mean?
Why are you pushing pictures of ladies away?
Because those are our doubts in our brain. So we need to be stern and like push through it.
What?
You okay?
I told something to someone in confidence, and she told her best friend.
We were... can I escape? We had... is it Margaret Cho? Is that the actress? She's a character. No, it's Sandra Oh. Sandra Oh is the actress. She...
The woman from...
Killing Eve? Yes, that woman. She's like trying to get a fellowship, whatever that is, and go abroad and like study special medicine. And she's trying to get recommendation letters for everybody, and
From everybody.
And one wasn't good enough, so she might not get the fellowship. And so this guy, wide-faced teacher pervert, is the one who wrote the bad recommendation. And Gray found out about it and told Sandra Oh, and now she's angry at him.
So he's completely in the wrong, but he's still pissed off.
No, he seems in the right. She's horrible.
Is she?
They're both horrible, but she's like a horrible bitch. She keeps screaming at people and going like, I deserve to go! She's like a toddler.
But is she a good doctor?
I have no idea. Her bedside manner seems fucking horrific.
Her name is Meredith Grey.
Her name is, Meredith Grey is the main character. She's been in one scene so far. There we go. Resume. That's basically the plot so far. So far, I am on wide-faced pervert side. Like, I don't like... I've already forgotten her fucking name, but I don't like Sandra Oh's character at all. She's so annoying. Like most of the characters in this. Okay, do we want harsh advice or gentle advice? How should I give advice to Derek?
I don't know. Gentle.
Gentle advice. Okay. Everybody is so fucking angry and bitchy in this place.
So it's a soap?
Yeah, basically.
This is a very bizarre game. What the fuck is this?
We're avoiding the angry advice and trying to click on the gentle advice.
But you already chose gentle advice.
There we go. Yeah, but now we have to make sure we miss the angry advice.
So it's all little
How
brain
women operate.
games.
It's the divine secrets of the Sisterhood of the Pants.
What the
or
fuck?
Something. But if it bugged you, tell her.
Okay, I will. If you tell your new crush how you feel.
How old
What
are
is
you
this,
two?
High school?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
How old are you
You can
two?
insert the implant.
Also,
Just
do your
watch the
job on the
lateral leg
person
where
you're
the
operating on.
infraorbital
I said
neurovascular
this last
bundle
time.
runs.
If I woke up, if there was a complication and I woke up and they were talking about this shit, I would be so angry. So mad.
Well, no, I suppose it'd be better than if they were going, ha, they're fat. Ha, they're a dumb fucker. I'm glad we're cutting off their leg.
Emma.
You don't think doctors ever say that? They do. At least they do on
I
TV.
assume they would just sort of poke around.
That's a terrible
Not
thing.
sexually, but just sort of like fuck around with the organs
That's
and
a
stuff while
terrible
they're
thing
open.
to do.
Wouldn't you want to squish a liver?
No.
If you weren't not hard on so they die or anything, just oh, we're doing heart surgery. Oh, let's just squish that a bit.
No.
You know, like a child with some phloem.
No. No.
Okay. Right, remove the damaged implant. What has she got in her face? Remove that.
Oh.
Suction the blood. Again, this is not a machine. This is Patrick Dempsey just sucking this up. New implant. Fine. This is surgery. And then suture. I would love to learn how to do this.
Is that just stitching?
Yeah. I would love this. Look how satisfying this looks.
Oh, I don't like stitches.
Oh, it looks so good. Doesn't it?
I don't like stitches.
I'd love to do this.
I'm lucky. I'm one of the few people. Every person I meet has when I was a child, I was in hospital lots. And I've never been in hospital, even though my father beat me up a couple of times.
A new crush.
Of course you don't.
No, he didn't beat me up.
Oh my god, Emma.
It was funny. That was funny. I made people laugh. Yeah, I was never in hospital for anything.
Sorry, it's slightly specty.
I was never in hospital for edgy joke. I'm a very edgy. I thought it made Kane laugh. It made you laugh. It wasn't that funny. No, calm down.
Sorry, it just caught me off guard.
No, I was never actually beaten up.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of
I've heard stories.
smacked around a bit. Emma, I want to give you a hug. But yeah, everyone I meet is always like, oh, I got this. Yeah, even you've had stitches too. Basically,
I have had a few
the
stitches.
point of my story was I've never had stitches.
Mm-hmm. Lexi needs my attention.
And then stitches really freak me out. Just the thought of sewing your fucking skin. Ew.
Oh, I think it looks so satisfying. This isn't gonna freak people out like the toad thing, is it? But don't
mention the toad.
I'm sorry, I won't mention the toad thing. I won't mention the toad thing. I love you.
I love you.
But when I was a kid, when I was maybe 11, maybe I can't remember what age, but when I was young,
Oh, Mikey.
I fell on Mikey, you're lovely. When I fell on a spike at a building site.
Hold on, I haven't heard this story.
Yes, you have. It was
No.
when my dad went out fishing afterwards.
I thought you cut your leg off the fishing thing.
No.
I didn't realise you fell on a spike.
The pier where they were like launching the boat to go out fishing, my dad and his friend.
Yeah.
And I was just there.
Yeah, I thought you cut yourself with like a fishing rod or a knife or something.
No, there was like an old rusty building site near there, and I was just playing around in it, and it had rained recently, so I slipped and fell on a spike. It was about that long, and it went up through my thigh because I fell sideways on it.
I didn't realise it was that bad.
And then I went,
I thought
and went
you
very
got,
quiet.
Like, cut off a thing or whatever.
No, it went up right through there on my inner thigh. I know you can't see this in the camera.
Yeah,
like
so why are you showing
there? And, you know, about that far in, probably, to my thigh. Probably about that thick. Just like that.
Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting.
But then I started losing a lot of blood and went quite pale.
No.
And my dad...
See, you go pale when you die.
My dad... went out fishing anyway with his friend, launched the boat and went, will you be fine? And I went, probably, in my like 11-year-old voice.
What, they just left you there?
Well, he called my mum and said, can you go like collect him and bring him to a doctor or something? And she went, okay, how bad is it? And he looked over and went, and then just went off fishing. And then I waited about, I don't know, 15 minutes. My mum showed up and wrapped a towel around me, said, don't bleed on my car upholstery, and then drove me to a clinic. But what I was leading to is I watched the sutures being done, the stitches, and it was great. It was like really fun. Like
Did it hurt?
No.
I know they give you whatever.
Yeah, they like numbed it locally,
but
and I think I was in shock.
Yeah, but, you know, it's like in Animorphs when they turn into animals, and they always say it doesn't hurt, but it feels like it should hurt, so that makes it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, did when you saw your skin being sewed up, like?
No, I thought it was good. They like tucked a muscle back in because a bit had gotten dragged out with the spike. They gave me a shot for tetanus and stuff. They cleaned it. They stuffed a bit of muscle or tissue or whatever back in, sutured that in place inside, and then sealed the outside with like, I don't know, 10 stitches or something like that.
Getting
and it was
stitches
nice.
is like in Animorphs.
Exactly.
I just mean, I know you wouldn't actually feel any pain, but the fact that, I don't know.
I think at that point...
I think I'd probably get sick.
I remember vividly going over like a speed bump as we were going to the clinic, because it was like Cork Clinic or something like that. It was like near here, between here and Cork. And we went over a bump and like a little spray of blood came out of the towel. And my mum went, don't get it on the seats.
Jesus.
And I was like, okay, sorry. But at that point I wasn't like crying or anything. I was just like, oh, this is fine. I think I had lost a decent amount of blood. So it was fine. I was like, this is okay.
You don't have a scar or anything.
No, well, I did for years and years I had a scar, and then it just gradually faded. It was fine.
I didn't know
kind of
scars
enjoyed
could
it.
just fade. I thought they stayed with you for life.
Depends on the scar. But the scar was like a long one on the
Yeah,
thigh.
actually, I told a lie. I did go to hospital once as a kid, and they thought it was appendicitis, but it wasn't appendicitis. It was just a regular old kidney infection.
No.
And I wanted to get the...
Yeah, that's fun.
No, is it true, or is this just something on TV that you can keep it in a jar?
I have no idea.
You see it on
I've never gotten anything removed, I think.
When you see appendicitis operations on TV, the kids like keep it in a jar.
I have no idea.
And I really wanted that. I wanted to keep my appendix in a little jar and just keep it, and then show my cool scar.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't get any cool scar, no appendix. I just have this useless organ that doesn't even do anything still inside me.
Wow, your parents made you fail. 20 years later, they pissed off to Spain and let's just
I will look after him.
Oh my god. I think it's a fun story. I kind of like it.
Yeah, of course you do.
Oh my god.
Kane always says that if I ever tell a story about my childhood that I think is funny, that it's a depressing story. Because he's just sort of biased by the fact that I didn't have nice parents. Not all my stories are depressing. Some are funny. And then you just told a story that is horrifying, and now you're going, oh,
it's not that horrifying.
It's pretty horrifying.
It's a little horrifying.
It's pretty horrifying.
But it's more just like,
no, it's just horrifying.
I didn't really react or care when it happened. It was just like, oh, this is fine.
That's because you've gone into shock.
Yeah.
That's not funny. That's a horrible story.
It was just like very, very mild shock.
No, that's horrible.
Extremely mild shock.
That's depressing as shit.
Sorry. Right, let's go. Lexi needs my attention. I don't know who Lexi is. That is a shock. That is shock, and your parents should have been more concerned.
Dreya will be rolling around the garden with the pigs, not sleeping or eating.
Okay, we need to clear our doubts again. Oh, Jesus, this fucking minigame. Okay, clear the doubts.
I tried to go into the garden earlier to have my ice cream, and I couldn't get the bloody table into the right spot. It needs to be washed because it's covered in bird
Yes,
poo.
it is.
And I was like, oh, I can't be bothered to watch it. I'm going back inside. Also, it was really
Give me 1
warm.
sec.
How's the volume of the voices, by the way? Because I can turn that up a little.
What ice cream was it? It was Ben and Jerry's. It was that weird one that's sort of like marshmallow, caramel, a little chocolate fish, and
Fish food?
no, it's a little chocolate fish. It's not fish food.
No, that's what it's called, isn't it?
PHIS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fish food.
Yeah, but it's caramel as well.
Okay.
And like marshmallow and like lots of chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. Like.
Okay.
I used to love the cookie dough, but I haven't had that in ages.
That's because you got sick of it.
Well, because I had it a lot.
Mm-hmm. You eat a lot of Ben.
I don't actually.
Yes, you do.
I don't because they're
actually.
too expensive. This is the
that's
first.
true.
This is the first one I've gotten in 2 weeks.
There's vegan fish food Ben and Jerry's. There's vegan, I think, almost every Ben
Well,
and Jerry's
Kate
flavour.
doesn't
But
like
they
ice
suck
cream.
because I don't like ice cream
Yeah,
very much.
you don't like ice cream. Like if they weren't so expensive, I'd buy Ben and Jerry's every day.
I know. But they're like $7.50
I know,
or
but they're
something like that,
so
aren't they?
good.
Well, a lot of the time Tesco will have some of them for like €4.
They're so
which is still
lovely.
not great. but,
I know, but they're so nice.
Avoid jealousy. The little fake Ben and Jerry's is nice. See, Lidl also has a lot of vegan ice cream. I never get it. I
Well,
just
you don't
really
like
ice cream.
You don't like ice cream.
Yeah.
You don't like sweet things.
No, I don't.
Except for me.
Oh God, Emma, that's disgusting.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that. Because you're always like, oh, Emma, you're so sweet.
Mhm.
I'm not sweet.
You are sweet.
I'm serious and hard-nosed.
You're sweet and
I'm
earnest.
serious and
You're
hard-nosed.
sweet and earnest.
Hard-nosed and serious.
Get some briny ice cream. There is salted ice creams, right? Like salted caramel is a thing,
I hate...
which I don't like.
Oh, sorry. I hate savoury stuff mixed in with sweet
Same.
stuff.
I don't like fruit
Except,
in savoury things.
Except I like melted chocolate and popcorn.
Yeah, that made me feel sick when you first did that. Genuinely.
I know it.
It made me slightly feel like
but I
gagging.
wouldn't like I like having the melted chocolate. Well, it's not really. Basically, if I go to the cinema, I buy the popcorn and I buy, say, M&Ms, and they will melt because the popcorn's hot. You pour the M&Ms in and it will melt. But I wouldn't buy popcorn that was already pre-made with bits of chocolate in it. That's gross.
Why?
I don't know, it just is.
It's
like
the same thing,
in
isn't
Ireland.
it?
In Ireland, we have this crisp company called Tato's, and a couple of years ago they made this chocolate bar that had bits
I
of
actually
crisps
didn't
in
mind
it.
the Tato chocolate when it came out.
That's vile.
I tried the Tato chocolate and went, you know what, that's fine.
Chocolate bar with crisps in it.
Yeah.
That's fucking disgusting.
I actually thought it was fine. Tato's in Northern Ireland? No, that is Protestant Tato. It's a different company, bizarrely. I don't know how they got away with that.
Yeah, who came
It's
first?
the same name and it's made in a fucking castle.
Who came first?
Definitely our Tato.
Well, wasn't it only
Nationalist
wasn't
Tato.
it only like 2 or 3 years before?
Yes,
though?
but it was definitely our Tato came first. Made by John
Our Tato?
Yeah, Jonathan Spud O'Malley or
Says
something.
the one who doesn't like identify as Catholic, and the one who says I don't care where I'm from, and
know.
now suddenly now you are Irish, and it's your.
Well,
Tato,
when it comes to
and it's
Tato, I'm a
your-
nationalist.
It's your.
When it comes to Tato, I will get a balaclava.
Okay.
I will.
Well, no, you're not understanding. It's nothing to do. The Tato in Northern Ireland is for everybody in Northern Ireland.
Yes, I
Catholics
know.
in Northern Ireland eat that Tato.
I know,
too.
but they smuggle in proper Tato
They
for them.
don't smuggle
They
in
do.
proper Tato.
Somebody was arrested for it. I showed you the news article. I showed Emma an article where
I don't know why he cares about
nationalists.
this so much.
Yeah, but nationalists were smuggling in proper Tato.
Don't use the word nationalist. Use Catholic or the Catholic community or maybe the Republican.
The Republican
Yes, that's
community were
better.
smuggling in Tato through a bar in
who are
Donegal.
usually but are always Catholics.
And they were like sharing them out and selling them to people who could only get the Northern Irish Tato. It's real
I'm sure
bad.
they don't care.
You said it was worse.
It wasn't disgusting because we went to the shop.
Yeah, but you said it wasn't good.
We went into the shop recently
Mhm.
and we saw the Northern Irish Tato, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And Kane was looking at it like it was a war crime. So I bought it and I tasted it, and it kind of basically tasted the same. It just lacked a bit of a zing. He always laughs at me when I say that. That's
Mm-hmm.
a common expression that people say about food.
Tato, here's a fun fact. Tato was the first ever flavoured crisp in the world.
No one cares.
Before that,
No
you would
one
get.
cares.
Before that, it's a history section. You like history. Before Tato came up with the way to like pre-season things, they would come with a little bag of seasoning, like salt or pepper, in the bag, and so you'd get a pack of Walkers or something like that, and you'd sprinkle salt and pepper over the crisps. Tato came up with the machine to you know,
Well, you
do
know,
stuff.
if you-
Salt and Shake, yes, the Salt and Shake were the ones first.
What year did Tato come out? The one in the Republic of
Oh,
Ireland?
very long time ago.
Yes, but what year?
I don't know. Tato.
The Republic of Ireland now.
Tato crisps, there we go. 1954.
Oh, never mind. So I was going to say, if it was before Irish independence, then it would probably be a Protestant anyway.
It was 1954, now owned by a German company.
Boo.
Boo.
Look, show them the picture of our potato. I'm saying our now too, for Christ's sake.
If I go to, what is it, 6?
Say
There we go.
nothing. I shall talk, because you're offending us all. This fella is the Republic of Ireland Tato mascot. Now go to the Northern Ireland.
Northern Tato.
And this guy is the mascot for Tato in Northern Ireland.
This freak. This wholesome boy. Wholesome love boy. This nightmare freak who should be put down. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Look at this freak.
I've never met an Irish person who cares about this apart from you.
It just seems so wrong.
I
like,
mean,
look at the little smile.
in Derry girls, the Catholic girls just eat the Northern Irish Tato.
No, they're wrong. Well, no, they're not wrong. I feel sorry for them.
Well, is it that you can't legally sell Republic?
Yes, you can't legally sell
it's
Republic of
strange
Ireland
that you
Tato.
can't legally.
It's illegal.
But we were able to buy their Tato here.
Yeah, because everybody knows it's shit. Like, everybody knows it's a bit shit. It's the worst one. So it's illegal to sell Republic of Ireland Tato in Northern Ireland.
But it's not to sell Northern Ireland Tato in the Republic of Ireland.
No, you can
we
get
bought
that here.
It. We bought it.
Yeah, you can get that here fine. It's just nobody wants to.
I'd never seen it before.
I know.
That was the first
That's
time I'd seen
why.
it. I did watch a thing very, very rarely, not very often, but very rarely I get into those things where celebrities eat food. Very rarely, Shopkin.
I love you.
And it was one of those things where, like, oh, I can't remember what it was. It was a series where, like, an actor would choose desserts.
Oh no, it's Mr. Tato. Welcome back.
Listen, kid. It was one of those series where, like, an actor would eat desserts from their home country, then eat desserts from a country that was foreign to them. And which one do you prefer? And it seemed a bit silly to me, because obviously they're always going to pick their own country's desserts. And it was Colin Farrell. And they gave him, like, I can't even remember what it was, because what is Irish sweets? They gave him Irish...
Tato. HB.
Let me finish. They
A
gave him
brunch.
Irish sweets, and they gave him sweets from some other country. I can't remember. And then eventually it was the time for crisps. I think it was American, and then they gave him some like American crisps or chips.
Lays.
And then they gave him Tato, and it was the Northern Irish Tato, because in Britain, as in England, Scotland, Wales, you can only get the Northern Irish Tato. You can't get the Republic of Ireland Tato, and he like took the bag of potatoes and he said nothing, but you could tell he was looking at it going.
Right. Can we play the game now?
You're the one who had to
You
rant
brought up
about
Tatoes.
Jeez.
Who brought up Tatoes?
I don't know and I don't care.
You brought up Tatoes because of the chocolate.
Yeah, but that...
Right. I can't hurt Lexi. Avoid the jealousy. How's Emma doing? Emma's doing fine, except for cutting her finger and getting glasses stuck in her hair. But, oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm just avoiding this. I'm not, like, picking anything up. Oh, fucker.
English people in the chat, or Scottish people, Welsh people, have you eaten the Northern Irish
Maybe,
Tato in
but
your own
Maybe
countries?
he
I don't know
lied to
anybody who would
protect
want
you
to.
because you
Shush, I'm
thought
talking to
helping
them.
her would hurt your feelings.
I guess you're right.
The British.
Excuse me.
Never.
Are those hives on his neck?
No, fuck
Eddie,
that.
do you have any
Never.
allergies?
No.
I think you're an anaphylaxis.
Because technically the Northern Irish aren't British. Isn't
Drama.
Isn't it like... What is it again? The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Mhm.
So technically Northern Ireland actually isn't British. Do you never think that from the Orange Order with all them British flags?
Right, I'm gonna... I might turn this up slightly. I can't. Never mind.
Never heard of
Good
Tato
stuff.
till this stream. I mean, it's an okay crisp. It's like if you go to Ireland, people are obsessed with it. It's like Walkers in England. You go to Ireland, people will give you Tatos.
I want to just gently remind Emma of the time we went to Amsterdam, and I'm going to say 2 days in, you said, I want Barry's tea and a Tato sandwich.
So?
So you were desperate for it.
I wasn't desperate for it. I said it would be nice. I wasn't desperate for it. Like, usually Irish people go abroad and they fucking bring suitcases of Barry's tea and Tato's. Didn't you? Kane's uncle lives in Spain. And
Yes, my
you,
grandmother will occasionally send him a box of Tato and Barry's tea and some Bisto gravy. Because they can't get that in Spain.
Is Bisto gravy Irish?
No, I think it's English. But,
Oh.
you know...
You can't
they
get it in Spain,
It's,
yeah.
it's the default gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Withdrawal. Walkers equals Lays. Yes, it does.
They don't call walkers in the rest of the world. Is it just in England and Ireland?
It's just England and Ireland
And Britain.
call it
Britain and
walkers.
Ireland, whatever
Mhm.
you want to call it. I keep forgetting. I don't know how to... Because I know that some Scottish and Welsh people don't want to be British, and some do. So it's really hard to sort of
Say
remember.
UK.
No, everyone says British. Like, you don't say UK. Like, this is my friend. You're a UKer. You say, no, they're British.
And a United Kingdom dweller. A subject of the United Kingdom.
Britain is a geographical thing. Greater Britain as opposed to Brittany in France.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Lays
that
in
means, but okay.
Lays in Australia, yes.
Well, maybe you could explain the Commonwealth to me. Because the fucking Commonwealth, I don't get it all.
How?
What do you mean, how?
It's just like sort of vaguely affiliated with the crown.
Let me finish, please. No, but that doesn't make any sense.
Why?
Like Australia. Come on now, Australia. You're independent. You're not part of Britain. And you have the king on your money? That's
And-
not right.
No, we saw the thing, the Auntie Donna irritating money song, where it was
Oh.
going through all the people that were on their money.
No, I am Welsh, and I happen to be part of the United Kingdom. Britain can get fucked.
Like the
Oh, the-
fancy Australian
Oh, the
people.
Celts. They're funny, aren't they?
Jesus.
We're Celts. I can make that joke.
Hmm.
No, the Queen is... Or the King, whoever the fuck it is now. He's on the money of the Commonwealth people.
Is he?
He's on the money in Canada.
I don't think
not-
he's on the money in Canada.
I'm not confused by the Commonwealth that they trade with each other. Why do you say... You're an Irish person. You should hate the
No,
Commonwealth.
but I don't
Like Ireland...
have any feelings on it one way or the other. It's just I don't know why you don't get it.
Says the one who in Scotland... Oh, no, wait, that wasn't you. You didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care at all. You got very angry. Are you twisting our personalities up?
We should go independent and also land back to First Nations people.
Hmm.
Well, yes.
But it's like, yeah, they don't have the king on the money, and I don't think Canada does.
But they
either.
celebrate her birthday, his birthday.
Yeah, it's like a bank holiday thing.
No,
isn't
it's
it?
weird.
Like,
I
Canada
do-
has loonies and toonies.
I do think it was very funny because, like, when we were doing Irish history in school, it came to the Commonwealth. It was like,
We will have to start playing the game at some point, by the way.
just play the game while I'm talking.
No, I want to pay attention to the story. That's the whole point.
Just ignore me and
No.
pay attention to the
No.
thing. I
If you're
can-
here, you're paying attention to the story.
You want me to pay attention?
Yes.
But I'm not interested.
I don't care.
This
Then
game
get out.
This game is shit.
No, it isn't. It's magical.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
You can't tell me to get out. Why don't you get out?
It's my stream.
I don't care whose stream it is. You get out. Canada had Liz on their money, no? Yeah, see?
Did they?
But anyway, so when the Commonwealth happened, it was very funny in school. It was like, oh yeah, I forgot about the Celts
Oh my
in England.
god. Get through a sentence.
Yeah, the Cornish. Yeah, I forgot about that. Shut up, Ken, you rude person. Ah, thanks, Sam. But like, yeah, it's like when we did the Commonwealth in school, and it was like, I think the Commonwealth, correct me if I'm wrong, Brits, but I think the Commonwealth was like set up after World War II, and the Irish were offered to join, and they were like, no, we will never ever join anything that has anything to do with the British royal family. And this reminds me of, just play the game and I'll talk.
No.
When Scotland voted to remain part of the UK in 2014, that's the year me and Kane met. We were doing a course together at CSN. And everybody in the class, all Irish people in their late teens, early 20s, they were all like horrified that the Scottish had voted to remain. Because for an Irish person, like, it's a big part of our culture, basically. The independence thing is the one thing we're really, really proud of. that we were independent from Britain. That is like our thing. So like everyone in the class was like, oh my God, they voted to remain? I know some of you voted to leave, but like the yes people won, and Kane didn't care, and the teacher
I didn't care either
and the
way, to be honest.
the teacher was like, calm down, lads, it's democracy, and everyone was going, no, she voted to leave.
Everybody was very angry, considering they did not live there or have any connection.
It's just an Irish thing.
Mm-hmm. There's always like little mini celebrations when anyone leaves the Commonwealth. Well, it wasn't Barbados. There was like street parties and stuff when
Well,
they
good
left.
for them leaving. Yeah, get
Mm-hmm.
rid of that royal folk.
I was very surprised, to be honest, that they didn't leave.
Well, I wasn't too surprised because I remember the People the Yes campaign, they were really spinning it as we will go
Yes.
bankrupt if we
Mhm.
leave. It's to our economic advantage. And that didn't really work out.
No. Do you want to cut us off from Europe? We'll be bankrupt by the end of the decade if we leave Britain.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Brexit
No.
didn't surprise me either. Because my father is English and my father hates the EU with a passion. And you know, I whenever you watch English TV, it's always a very sort of anti-Europe vibe. So I wasn't surprised. All my friends were. They're all like, "Oh, they're definitely going to stay in Europe." I'm like, "No, they're not. They're going to leave."
Well, again, it's because we're Irish and we're the most positive in the EU about the EU.
Yeah, Ireland's. Well, a lot of France really likes the EU too.
Oh yeah, but just by stats, like I remember the poll was something like France was like 94% positive about the EU. We were 98. Like
98?
we fucking love. Well, think about Ireland and its state before the EU.
That's
Notice
true.
that every
That's
road and bus station in Ireland has by EU written across it.
Yeah,
Like,
the EU has been great
we
for
were
Ireland.
fucked for various reasons.
We wouldn't join the Commonwealth, so we had to join the
No,
other one.
we needed something.
We had to join the EU.
They pumped. I think we've only just in the last couple
the
of
Americans
years.
were too far away. To
You know how
pump
the
trade.
EU, if you're like more disadvantaged or not up to par with the rest of the EU, they pump money into you. I think we've only just stopped receiving money from them. It's something like 70 or 80 billion or something ridiculous that they've sent us over the years. Like, we need to get you up to par. You're absolutely disastrous.
Yeah, wasn't it during?
Are you using mud roads, Ireland? Yeah, sorry.
Wasn't it during the recession in 2008? There was a couple of countries called, it was pigs. It was like the countries that were worst hit by the recession in Europe. In the EU, not in Europe itself. And it was like Portugal, was it?
Italy,
Yes, and then
Greece.
Ireland was in there, wasn't
Was it? Were we worst hit?
We had to take a lot of money from the EU because we wouldn't close our banks.
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
made
true.
the taxpayers pay for our banks. Well, it was definitely Portugal, Ireland or Italy, and then Greece, and then who was the S? Spain? They're pretty.
Spain,
some parts of
Slovakia,
Spain.
Serbia. I'm thinking of just countries with S in
Serbia
Europe.
isn't
I
in
don't
the
know.
EU.
Isn't there?
You know, there's that.
Oh, everybody should be.
There's that.
Everybody join.
Have you kind of forgotten about the whole, you know,
What?
the 1990s genocide?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Right, let's play the game.
Serbia remains a very nationalistic
Yes.
right-wing country. Jesus,
It's
Kane.
all that part of the world. Nobody really knows what's going on.
Kane. So ignorant.
Nobody knows what's going on over there. It's that bit.
Actually, I just saw on the news there was trouble over there today in Kosovo between the Serbs and Albanians.
Again, it's that part of Europe. When is there never not trouble? Now, do you want to pay attention to the plot?
Fine.
Good. We're doing a syringe. Shove it in. Hello, Relentless. Welcome. Inject the steroids.
This is gross.
Why is it gross? I like injections as well. I mean, I don't love injections, but I kind of like them.
I just got an image of like
Oh,
train.
fuck me.
I just got an image of train spotting there.
Oh, you're bumping my arm.
Sorry.
There you go.
Train Spotting's a great movie.
The blood pressure freaks me out way more. than
Kane
getting
doesn't like
syringes.
Train Spotting.
I think it is a movie beloved by Gen Xers and not really many other people.
It's a good movie.
I think it is a movie custom built for
It doesn't look
45-year-old
We're
men.
going to put you on oxygen to help you breathe, Mr. Paulson.
Got a 4.5-hour drive to my hotel. Oof, Jesus. What is surprising is that in Europe mainland, EU is defo a thing that is representative of the moving on from World War II and a symbol of better relations. In England, we just bang out about the economic benefits. Yes. I mean, same in Ireland, really.
Oh, sorry, we're playing the game.
I know, I'm just saying this one last thing about the EU. It's the same in Ireland, really, but Ireland was so, like, fucked for so many decades. I mean, for so many hundreds of years. Even after we got independence, we were so fucked for so long that the EU really did drag us out of the mud a bit.
Well,
And so I think people just feel, like, sort of obligated to them.
Well, I think it's as well, if you look at and this isn't just my opinion, this is actual stuff I've read as in historians, academics, and British ones. So it's your own academic things. Like, if you look at the countries around the edge of Europe, the islands, like Iceland, Ireland, Britain, they've never felt European because they're not connected.
Mhm, they're not in the mainland.
But for Ireland and Iceland, it seems to be more of a sort of indifference neutral.
Yeah.
When Britain
They're like, oh, we'd be speaking German if we
And-
didn't beat you.
And in Britain, and you know, don't accuse me of nasty things now, because this is British people I've read this, historians and academics. They've said that, you know, it's more like maybe not hatred, but more sort of anger at Europe in Britain. Like a lot of stuff tied in with the Napoleonic Wars, and then the First World War, and then the Second World War, because there's that thing that the British love. Oh, we fought Nazis all on our own, forgetting about that massive empire. So yeah, Britain's, and again, like I said, my dad, he had all of that. He was like, he hated the EU. He wouldn't even say EU. He'd say that thing run by France and Germany.
Brussels. Oh God, cloak. Fuck me. Ugh. Do you want the cloak or will I?
It's too warm for clothes.
I know it's too warm
Then
for
don't
cloak.
wear it, just say no.
Tough. It's been redeemed. Whereas, yeah, a lot of antagonism towards France. Whereas Irish people quite like French people.
I think Irish people are fairly indifferent.
Yeah, we're indifferent, but vaguely positive, I would say, because of all of the whole guns thing.
Oh yeah, like in our history, whenever the Irish rebelled
There's
against
like a vague
the English,
sense
the
of,
French
like-
would give them weapons.
Yes. The French.
But modern day Irish people, I don't think really
Well,
care.
again, that's what I mean. It's like mostly neutral, but like a little bit of goodwill because of the whole. Every time we wanted to fight the British, they'd send us lots of machine guns.
Yeah, I would say modern day Irish people are sort of indifferent to
Yeah.
Europe. I wouldn't say it's positive or negative. It's just sort of mainland Europe is just there.
Ugh, Jesus Christ, I hate this fucking cloak.
I was a little, because I've been raised by a father who hated the EU so much, I guess I was always a little sceptical of mainland Europe. Not like the people or the cultures, but my dad had drilled it into me so much that the EU is this terrible, terrible thing.
Watched a documentary about Irish history, and France was going to help Ireland fight off English invasion, but they drowned at sea or something.
Oh, the
Again,
French.
like the French. The French, I don't think, would care about Ireland at all. It's just that Ireland hates England, and France hates England.
You think the English would get over hating the French, considering they beat them every single time?
But it's like
well, the Normans.
we're
but the Normans are
historically
sort of their own thing.
just sort of united in hating England, and so they help us out, basically.
Yeah, the old I can't say that word for me.
Old alliance.
Yeah, between Scotland and France, it was always like an anti-English thing.
Is that a thing? The Old Alliance? I thought it was a joke.
Scotland actually hasn't been part of the UK for as long as Wales has. Wales,
No.
I think, goes back a long time.
Yeah, it's fairly recent, right?
Maybe Middle Ages for Wales, but like Scotland has only really been part of the UK since James I took over, and that was like 1603.
Yeah.
So yeah, long.
A few
But
hundred
not-
years.
But not as long. Like after the whole Braveheart stuff, or whatever William Wallace was called, they had their own royal family for yonks. We got shafted early on,
Wales like 1200s, I think. 13th century, yeah, 1200s. French are great people to hold a grudge against. They're so up for it. Again, Germany and France. Is there any bad blood there? I wonder. I wonder who do the French hate more, Germany or England?
I think the French hate non-white people.
Wow, Jesus.
France is very racist.
I know it is, but Jesus.
I have a friend who lives in France. He says they're very racist.
I know.
Oh, I am not saying every single French person is racist. I'm saying France has a serious problem with racism.
I know.
We had a French teacher in secondary school, and she was like to us girls, because it was a girls' school. She was like, if you go to France, you could ask them about the First World War and they'll answer. You can ask them about the Second World War and they'll answer. But do not, under any circumstances, ask any French people about the Algerian War. They will not talk about it.
Play. What
you
the
go,
fuck is
Jesus?
this?
Like I said something offensive.
It's just got me off guard again.
Like Macron is doing really anti-Muslim things at the moment, isn't he? Yeah, so they do have a problem with racism. So fuck you.
I know. Germany and France are probably the most traditional, I wouldn't want to say enemies, but you know. France still steals money and resources from African countries. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, anyone that had an empire still does that shit, right? Again, I'm not saying that Ireland is better inherently.
Oh,
it's just that we
Ireland's-
didn't have a chance to
Ireland's
form an
very
empire.
racist.
Oh yeah, we're still, like I
Very
said,
racist.
Ireland is a very racist
Very
country,
racist,
extremely.
definitely.
It's just that historically we didn't have a chance to form an empire because we were part of other ones. And so, you know, if we had had the power, we would have been just as bad.
Yeah, like in Ireland, we have direct provision. So
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
it's a
we're
horrible
as
system.
racist as the French. I wasn't saying we were
It's just that
better,
we're not-
morally speaking,
not
than
as
the
big.
French.
Not as big as important. Turn valve. I think this is anesthetic. Administer. Oh, that's
I
oxygen.
always call anesthetic anesthesia.
I think it's the same stuff. And they just look kind of grim and scene complete. Lovely. I'm sure there's history you don't know about. Oh yeah, I know very little about Irish history, really. We don't really cover anything before, I would say, the 1600s in history class for Ireland. At least I didn't with mine.
In our school, we did Stone Age Ireland and then skipped right ahead.
Oh
until,
yeah,
like, the
that's it.
First
We
World
did
War or
like
something.
Stone Age Ireland when they were building like the cairns and stuff. And Ogham. We learned about Ogham and how to read Ogham.
Our thing that's like the Irish
Newgrange.
Stonehenge. Great, yeah, Newgrange. Is like the Irish Stonehenge.
We learn about the very ancient stuff, and then it skips to like 1798. And it's like, and then in 1798, it does a little bit of the plantations. The British plantations.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then it cuts forward to 1798 and it's like, and that's when the riots and uprisings started.
When every nation has got a very similar climate, that's similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
With similar language, similar food, similar genes, are all arguing. Or just make my dad roll his eyes, like white men just being white men vibes. Sorry, it does seem a bit funny when you zone out.
Yes.
Well, you could say the same thing about ethnic conflict in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And Asia. Well, not all of Asia, but parts of Asia.
Early medieval Ireland is interesting. I couldn't really tell you much about early Ireland. I don't really know anything about it.
In our schools, ancient Rome, Tudors, World War II, job done.
It's kind of, I mean, we didn't learn much about Rome.
No.
Didn't do anything on the Tudors.
I did stuff in the Tudors.
We did a lot of World War II.
Yeah, we did do a lot of World War II in school.
Mm-hmm.
Which is strange considering we're not involved with that one.
Yeah, we didn't really do anything in World War II. We were just kind of sitting there. We were neutral, but we'd let Allied plans land and refuel
We also let some
and stuff
Germans
like that.
land too.
Mm-hmm.
So we were kind of... Damon de Vleur was a sneaky little fucker.
Oh yeah,
He's a sneaky little
a
fucker.
weird guy.
I don't really know much about medieval history in general.
Mm-hmm. European history is low-key just a big confuddled mess for me, if I'm honest. Keeping the royals straight over the thousands of years is so hard. Yes, they all have the same name as a hard one. Like how many fucking Louis were there in France? Like
I think
16?
it was like 20 or something.
Jesus Christ, there's so many. I don't think anyone learns much about any royal except maybe 2 or 3 key ones. Yeah, the big ones. Henry VIII, yeah. Like, I don't know really anything about any of the Henrys except
What about,
the
what about royal families outside of England and France?
I could not name
As in-
any of them.
Okay,
Spain was Isabella, wasn't it? Or was that Portugal?
Let's narrow it down, just one continent. Royal families in Europe.
The Habsburgs?
Yeah, at some point, weren't they?
Yeah, I
I've
don't
heard
know.
Well, what about the Tsars, the Romanovs?
I have no fucking idea.
The Romanovs?
Nicholas?
Oh, well, that's the last one.
Yeah, the one who got killed, that's the one I know.
The Romanovs? Ivan the Terrible. I don't know if
Yeah.
he was a Romanov. I think he was before.
Yeah, but he was a Tsar.
Yeah, but I said the Romanov
Oh,
specifically.
I don't fucking know then.
Well, what about... I don't know anything about Germany's royal family. I mean, I know Kaiser...
Britons,
I know Kaiser Wilhelm.
they're kind of German.
I know Kaiser... No, well, not really. I mean,
Windsors are basically
they're sort of
German.
mixed up of everybody, aren't
Yeah,
they?
but the Windsors are predominantly German, aren't they?
Anyway, so...
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, like Kaiser Wilhelm, obviously I know him, but I don't know any other German royals.
I couldn't name any, really.
I know of the sad Romanov stuff. Like everyone else, my brain gets confused and shuts off.
Kill them all. Emma gets so mad when I say that.
I am a passionate socialist, and I don't think you have to build socialism by murdering people.
Yeah, but as a treat. You can have a little murder of royals as a treat. You know, like 1 or 2. You don't have to kill them all, but just like as an example.
I know you're just joking, but I'm going to make it serious here. Whenever you make a revolution violent, it never actually works out. The French Revolution didn't work out. They brought back Napoleon, and he made himself an emperor, which was the same fucking thing. And the Russian Revolution, well, we all know how the Soviet Union turned out, don't we? So violent revolutions don't work. You can only build a new world with love.
Oh my god. Just, you get the Tsars, the Romanovs, and you spin a big raffle wheel, and you go like, and then you pull out a ball, and it says, Anastasia, and then you behead her, and then they go, and that's it. That was just a little treat for us, and we wink at them, and they all go, no, that's fair.
Emma, those are European examples.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't think of a revolution that turned out good anywhere. I'm not saying there isn't any, but like if you do a revolution with violence, as in killing people, then usually it ends up... Isn't there like a famous quote, revolutionaries always eat their own children? Like they usually start with good intentions. Because didn't the guillotine end up killing more revolutionaries than it did the aristocrats?
That's been brought up a lot.
Scientific revolution. Well, yes.
I mean, technically that's killed millions.
What, the scientific revolution?
All the weapons we built from it.
That's true, yeah. That's
the
true.
Industrial Revolution. Stuff like that's killing the planet.
Well, revolutions don't have to be violent. It's just,
I know.
It's just that they kind of read Animal Farm. That's all I'm saying. Great book.
I like Animal Farm.
I love that book.
It's the only Orwell book I've read.
Apparently 1984 is the one that everyone says they've read, isn't it? Like the book that people say they've read.
Yes.
They did like a poll or something.
Mm-hmm.
But no one's actually read 1985.
In the Philippines, they overthrew US-backed Ferdinand Marcos, which seems good, but now his
son is in. So
Yeah.
the Philippines, and before that, they had that dictator, didn't they? The one who shot drug dealers on sight.
Mm-hmm.
So the Philippines isn't doing too great.
Mm-hmm. State in charge of education don't want to know about successful revolutions. I couldn't name any either, but I haven't done any research.
Well, yeah, the Russian Revolution was successful.
Yeah.
It worked.
But then led to bad things later.
Didn't Mao, was
that's
Mao
fine.
the Chinese Revolution?
I don't know.
And that didn't work either.
Probably US meddling in. Oh yeah, almost definitely. I mean, the US meddle in literally everything they want to, right? Cuban Revolution?
I don't know enough about Castro.
I don't know
to
enough
really
about
say.
Cuba.
Well,
I just remember there was that people we talked to when Castro died.
Yeah, that was very funny. Me and Kane.
There was demonstrations in Cork City.
Well, no, they weren't demonstrating.
No,
they
there
were
was like a
just-
kiosk where they were like, here's information about Cuba and stuff.
and they were like, you could sign this condolence book.
Yeah.
And we were with a friend of mine, and I went over to talk to him because I was interested. And
I went, oh God, and
Kane
ran
was
away.
like, because I haven't heard much of Castro. I know, but I know he's a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
But and these Cuban people are like, no, he's great. Well, the two things anyone would say about Castro is that literacy improved massively under Castro, but he definitely was a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know enough about Castro, to be honest. I can't really make a good argument.
But the line I wanted to bring up was they said, if you ignore the human rights violations.
Oh, they did
Yes,
say that.
they said
did
that.
say that.
Emma went over, and I heard as well because I was half running away. They went like, there's so many, and this is true. There's so many great things about the Cuban Revolution. There's the healthcare, the literacy, the standard of living, all amazing. And if you ignore all the human rights violations,
did
he's a
say
great
that.
leader. And I was like, you don't have to say that if you're putting us on side.
You can make the argument that you need to overthrow all powers involved for true revolution. Oh yeah, no, I want to make myself clear. I want to overthrow the powers that be and start a new thing. I just don't think we have to kill everybody. and as Kane loves bringing up the Romanovs, I don't think we have to kill children. They
As
were
a
children.
treat.
They were children.
As a treat. They're basically not ready yet either.
Who aren't ready?
Children. Like, I if it's like a 25-year-old, they're like fully formed. A kid doesn't fucking know it's alive yet.
Jesus. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't know what to say to that.
Like a baby, that doesn't know it's alive yet.
I killed Prince George. Now you can't say that. He's like five.
Yes,
he's
one of
like
us.
5 years old. Would you stop the two of you? He can't help where he was born. He's just an innocent child.
Drop him off the Tower of
Oh,
London.
stop it! Stop.
Let the Ravens get him.
Stop it! It's terrible. I've never heard such madness. Just take away his title. He just might call him George. You don't have to kill him.
Yeah, but then he might come back as an assassin in like a mask later. What?
He's not going to come back as an assassin.
He could come back as an assassin.
He's not.
Yes. Yeah, he could abdicate. He could go, I renounce all claim. And then
Well, maybe
the
he-
knife would be like right next to his eye. And he'd go,
well, maybe
right,
he will. He's only
fine."
like 5. Maybe he will. I don't know.
Like, so I'd be approaching with the cleaver.
Okay.
Or the tongs or whatever I wanted to do to him. And go like, and he'd go, I abdicate. And then I'd go, no, rats. Like Swiper and Dora the Explorer. And then I'd go away. That would be fine. But like, I think he might come back as an assassin as a losing argument. Just in case.
I'd have Prince George around South London somewhere and let's leave him around South London and see how he gets on. Yeah, it's like Arthur Scarskill, the guy who was in charge of the miners' unions, or the miners' strike in the 80s against when factories was closing down the mines. He was on some TV show, I don't know who it was, maybe it was Parkinson or somebody. And the host goes to him, Mr. Scargill, you're a Republican, right? You don't want a royal family. And he's like, that's correct. And they said to him, well, what do you want to be done with the Queen if we don't have a royal family? And he said, well, she can go and work in Tesco's. And everyone in the audience laughed. But I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't kill her. And she's dead now. But don't kill them. Just take away their big houses and make them work in Tesco's.
Mm-hmm.
That seems sensible to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's sensible and fair.
Mm-hmm. George can go in a mine. They can reopen a coal mine.
Thanks to Thatcher, they don't have any more mines.
They can reopen a special coal mine, and George can go down in there and get the black lung
I
or
saw
something.
a Twitter thing today. People were mocking it, but there's a Twitter thing. It's all Margaret Thatcher's quotes every day.
It's insane.
And they're really evil quotes.
Yeah, I know.
Like, stereotypically evil. I'm like, did she really say that? Was she that openly evil?
Yeah, she was fairly openly evil.
And proud of how openly evil she was?
Look at the current Tories. They're all basically Thatchers.
That's true.
They're all openly evil. He'd be taken in by a farmer's family, but never quite fit in, but not understand why, because of his noble ways and superior morals. It's already like reading Dickens. Eventually, a grey-bearded mentor would take him in and teach him wisdom and compassion before revealing his birthright onto 1,000 years of prosperity for the kingdom. Everyone knows that's how it's going. Yes, basically. It's like Tolkien or Dickens, basically saying
yeah, that's kind of Oliver Twist.
Yeah, that's Oliver Twist or Aragorn.
So Thatcher closed the mines just to make sure she didn't have to work in them if there was a village.
I mean, that's an idea. But yeah, I mean, you could kill Thatcher as a treat, right?
I don't want to kill anybody. This is hilarious because me and Kane have often not debated. I'm not for the death penalty, but I've said to Kane lots of times, what if there's somebody like Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer, someone who is very guilty, someone who escapes from prison and kills other people? Is it not kind of a good thing that they're dead? And Kane would go, no, even in the case of Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer, no death penalty. And I'm like, okay. And then the same guy is saying that he wants to kill Margaret Thatcher.
Death penalty is evil, except maybe for royals. I'm mainly joking.
I know you're joking, and I'm against the death. I'm against the death penalty. Before anyone says, "Oh, she wants to kill everybody," no, I don't. I'm against the death penalty. You shouldn't execute people, no matter what they've done.
I'd reanimate Thatcher on a weekly basis just to kill. It would be useful because even if you could retain your memories after death, she's so senile she wouldn't remember, so it would be a surprise every time.
Like my mum and I, because my mum was sort of like that. My mum was like, people like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, they deserve the death penalty. And I was like to my mum, well, no, it's not really, you can't have a law and then have caveats, do you know what I mean? It's either all or nothing. They'd use the death penalty for Ted Bundy to justify using on New York kids hanging out after school.
It's like a food pyramid. Executing people is bad, except occasionally.
Well, no, look,
exactly.
executing someone like...
Oh my God.
Executing someone like Ted Bundy is wrong because killing somebody is wrong. Murder is wrong. So there you go. So you can't kill Thatcher or Ted Bundy.
How's that steak you have in the fridge?
Oh my God. I said people. Aminals don't...
Just how's that steak you have in the fridge?
Vegans. Fucking vegans.
just gonna say, if killing's wrong...
What if you kill someone who's killing you? Well, obviously, if it's a self-defense thing. But even so, like, if I kill someone in self-defense, I know I'd feel very bad about it. I'd be like, oh dear, I killed someone in self-defense. Or maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'm secretly like a psychopath and I'd be like, yay, I've discovered my thrill.
Maybe you'd go, ooh, I love this. And
I'd start hunting people at night. Why are you looking at me like you're afraid?
Right, do you want to play this? We keep pausing. Okay, start of a scene. Let's go.
You shouldn't kill murderers, I'll only encourage them.
M. Gray, J. Bellamy, prep for temporal lobe resection. I don't know what that means.
Sounds awful.
We need to shave a head. Oh, it's like what I did. How do I... Oh, Jesus. This is about as well as I did as well. Nice and... Oh, you're leaving a hairline? That's horrible. I think you could pull this off. I saw my brother again recently, and he has a shaved side of his head again, and he pulls it off. I think it's a good look.
Are they giving him brain surgery?
I can't remember.
Christina,
yeah, they said temporal lobe. That's in the brain, right?
Drama. Forget about the brain tumor. There's high school drama happening. Should I answer, Derek, defend the decision or plead your case?
Oh, as Weetwick Flicks has brought up a good point. Someone tried to kill your pigs. You'd rip their throats, I've no doubt. Kane has often said to me, Emma, if I'm ever killed, don't avenge my death. Kane has said that.
If there is ghosts, I'll haunt you for it and go, fuck you, over your bed at night. You go like, fuck you, bitch. And then fade away. And you go, what? Just to make sure you got it.
You'd be an adorable ghost.
What the fuck?
You'd be an adorable ghost.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be spooks.
Oh, you'd be adorable.
Defend decision or plead case.
In this game, it's a soap opera.
Yeah.
But it's not a good... It's an American soap opera.
Well, he's angry.
Well, everyone likes Sandra Oh's character. What's her name?
I don't know.
Well, people like her.
Clarissa or something.
Yeah, she's really popular nowadays. Everyone says she should be the main character instead of the white one.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, people like her, like, so.
So, plead case? Defend decision?
Yeah, everyone likes the character.
I'll defend decision then. Oh, Jesus. We need
Softly
to be
wailing.
confident. No.
Softly.
This one?
Softly,
Fuck.
softly wailing kazoo noises in the attic.
This one. Defend the decision.
If you were bold enough to give her a bad review, you have to be bold enough to back it up.
That's fair.
But they're meant to be
Meredith, you
anonymous.
had no right. Our conversations are private, and I expect them to remain that way.
Derek, you're
I'm kind of with him.
You shouldn't be arguing in front of your patient.
Oh, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Shaved closely enough, Dr. Gray.
Oh, Jesus, she's gonna slice open her brain!
No, she's not.
You're a bad
She's having
doctor.
a seizure.
I'll get the
What?
razor, you track the seizure.
What? What?
Oh, yeah, it affects her personality or something. It makes her go all weird and evil or something. And, her wife...
Christina Young, that's her name.
What's her husband? That's what it's called when it's a boy. Her
They're
husband...
not married yet, though, are they?
Hmm?
Are you talking about Derek and Meredith?
No, the husband of the patient was like, oh, she turns into a right bitch
Well, then
or something like
fix
that.
her brain.
Okay. You wouldn't like her when she's
Fix her silly
seizing.
little woman brain.
It's probably just because she's a woman, you're right.
I didn't say that.
It is probably just because she's a woman. They have lady brains.
Brain
They can't really
surgery
handle
looks
complicated
so gross.
emotions.
Oh, can you imagine watching brain surgery?
I have watched a bit of brain surgery and it looks fantastic.
Yes, when they're doing the thing where, oh, can you still
Everybody's
talk?
seen that one where he's playing the banjo.
I won't watch that. I would
It's
not.
so cool.
That's
It's so cool.
Had a seizure.
I don't like. I remember
Hopefully that was
once
the
seeing a
last one.
TV show, and this person
take
was
her
showing
vitals.
us, not us, the person in the TV show was showing people an actual human brain, and I nearly got sick. I feel really nauseous when I see brains, human brains. I'm like,
Why? It's like,
just-
that's me.
It's yeah, that's
Look,
inside.
it's me.
Yeah, that's inside my head. And
Look,
there's-
it's me.
Oh, I don't like brains. Brains make me feel sick.
You can just jiggle it around as a treat and
Oh,
maybe
I'm
it'll
gonna
make you
get
go,
sick. I'm gonna get sick.
tickles.
No, I'm gonna get sick. Stop it. That's like the
Well,
toad.
there's no
that's-
nerve endings, I
that's-
think.
I know. That's like the toad thing. Don't mention it.
Emma, you can just poke around in
Stop
the folds.
it! Stop it! Stop it! That's disgusting.
It looks like it'd be quite
Stop
satisfying
it,
to just kind of
stop it.
rub your fingers on a bit.
Oh, I'm gonna get sick.
I'm sorry.
That's horrible.
I saw a pic of the human nervous system that's on display somewhere. It made me go queasy. That we saw that in Body World, didn't we? Or Body Works, whatever it's called,
I
in
think we
Amsterdam,
did, yeah.
where it was like the plasticized version of the preserved human nervous system, and I thought it was really cool. They had like the eyeballs and the brain and the spinal column and the nerves all coming off it. I thought it was a nice time. You might accidentally see their brains if you execute people. I don't see any problem with seeing brains. I don't think gore would be a problem for me.
Relentless.
By relentless.
Well, I don't. It depends on what kind of gore. Like, I'm not really fussed about like if you've seen a movie where it's like a war movie and someone's getting their arm amputated. I'm like, yeah, it's an arm getting cut off. But like brains, no, I don't like brains.
Yeah.
No,
I think it's fine.
Brains
The only time it's ever unsettled me even a little bit was when I was a kid and they were eating those monkey brains in Indiana Jones 2.
Were they? Oh, were they? Oh, yeah, I remember.
In that scene.
I wouldn't eat the brains of other species either.
How's the
Brain-
steak in the fridge?
That's not made from brains. Brains are just
Uh-huh. This meat is a different texture to the other meat I eat.
brains. Fine, eyes no. I don't like eyes either. I went for my eye test a couple of days
I imagine it
ago.
would be like biting into a warm grape.
Eyes probably.
Yeah.
So I went to get my eye test a couple of days ago. So I'm getting new glasses on Friday, and I hate eye tests. I don't like them coming near my eyes.
Poor Emma.
You should eat brains. Well, you can eat brains of other species.
Yeah, you can't eat human brains because it makes you go weird, right? It makes you go a bit wrong.
Yeah, that was when I was doing Hannibal Lecter because he eats brains in one of the movies apparently, and people are like, well, you can't eat brains; it'll make you sick.
Mm.
But no,
I'm still convinced if you cook it in a certain
they
way.
said even if you really cook it, well, it said on IMDb, even if you really cook it, you can't eat brains; it'll make you sick.
Mm.
But yeah, you can eat other species.
You
brains.
get weird shakes.
I don't think you can. You probably can't eat like apes' brains since we're basically apes. But you can eat cow brains if you want.
Yeah. Isn't it called... No, that's lymph nodes. I'm thinking of
Is that anything to
sweet
do with the
brains.
nutrient content of human brain and what do the psychological?
It's more to do with there's a protein called prions. There's
Well,
a molecule protein
If you're
thing
already a cannibal, the psychological impact might
Yeah.
not bother you.
called prions that make you go all fucky.
And you don't have to be like an evil cannibal. Because didn't there used to be tribes in Papua New Guinea who did used to eat
Yes,
people?
and apparently it made them go all weird.
No, but it was like they didn't kill people and eat them in their culture back then. This isn't.
Yeah,
now.
it was a funeral thing.
Yeah, it was like instead of burying you, they'd eat you. You'd be seen as like a sort of, oh, you live in me forever now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
I've said this before.
I'm not saying it's immoral, but it's not for me. I wouldn't want to eat people.
I've said this before. The only ethical meat would be human meat.
If the person had
Yes,
given
if the
their
person
consent.
consented and went, put in their will or something, eat me, please. I want to be in your belly.
But
And then you ate them afterwards. I think that's the only ethical meat.
But these people, they ate the brain of the human, and that made them sick, because I guess your brain can't eat another brain.
Yeah.
But you can eat the bellies fine in the lungs.
Oh, see, this is the only thing that freaks me out, is I can't wear watches or bracelets, really. I don't like things touching my wrists. It really freaks me out. I
bet
don't like
legs
taking my
taste
pulse or
nice.
anything.
Thighs probably taste lovely.
Thighs and ass are probably the nicest parts. Well, probably. Like, thighs and ass is probably the nicest. I think I remember reading that breasts don't taste very nice.
That is only if the person has the disease to begin with.
Maybe. I
In
don't
their
know.
brain? I don't know. No, it said, I'm not sure. Well, I don't know about it.
We found their weakness, yes. Dreya cries whale meat is unethical forever. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
you're against meat in general.
Yeah, meat. All meat except human meat.
If the human is given their permission.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if it's something like, what's that movie? I think they were in Uruguay. You are gay. Simpsons reference. Remember the movie it's Alive? The football team
Yeah.
in Uruguay crash in the Andes and they eat the dead people.
Yeah, that's fine.
But the dead people didn't give their consent to be eaten.
You'd probably have to go like,
So if we were like out, I don't know, stranded on a desert island and you were dying, would you say to me, if I die, Emma, you can eat me?
yeah, if you wanted to.
That sounds very strange.
If you wanted, you can eat me if you like when I'm gone. I don't care what's done to me.
Well, I think that's actually illegal to eat people.
That's political correctness gone mad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to eat people.
Why?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not
Like
saying.
after I'm dead?
not saying it should be. I'm just saying I think it's illegal to eat people.
No, but what's the reasoning for the law?
I don't know. Ask them. It's like Jamie and Cersei. What they were doing was illegal, but sure, just let Jamie and Cersei be together.
I remember reading this on like some Reddit post
They
or
were
something
such a
where it was on
happy
like legal
couple.
advice, where it was like this person, their dad had died, and they wanted to take a skeleton and hang it up in their house.
What?
They like bleach the skeleton, keep the skeleton like a model skeleton thing.
Like a Halloween thing.
Yeah, and just like like have a skeleton and have like 2 crystals in his eyes. Like there was this thing where you could get the body, the meat turned like condensed into little crystals, like
But
tiny little crystals.
they weren't allowed to do it, basically.
Yeah, basically they were like, no, that's illegal, and I was like, why? It's my dad. I can
Well,
do what
did the
I like.
dad give his permission?
I think so. I think the dad was like, I want this, or at least the skull. I want the skull with 2 little crystal eyes in it, because I think that would be really cool.
So you don't want me to eat you? You want me to keep your skull and put crystals in you?
No, you can eat me if you like. I don't
want
care.
to
Throw
eat
me in a
you.
bin.
Well, you definitely can't throw bodies in the bin. That's definitely illegal.
Compost me.
I think that's illegal.
Throw me in some
There is
unused woods.
There is a thing to do, because when me and Kane were playing that game, the mortuary game with the ghosts, I thought this is very strange, all this embalming. Kane was telling me this is very environmentally damaging to embalm the corpses.
It is. It's ruinous.
But no, it wasn't even that. Like, if you leave that aside, I was just thinking this seems like a waste of time and money. Like, things like, oh, we're going to glue the eyes shut so that the family aren't freaked out by the eyes being open, or we're going to glue the jaw or wire the jaw shut so the families aren't freaked
It
out.
was a very satisfying noise, though.
Like, I get it. I get the family saying goodbye to the bodies, but it seems like such a waste to like shut the eyes and wire the mouths. I mean, let's be honest. Why would you say goodbye to a body? I mean, the person's gone. No, when I saw my nana's body, because the Irish are weird, they let you look at bodies. I was like, well, that's not
normal.
I was like, that's not. It's in a lot of countries, it's not. When I saw my nana's body, I was like, well, that's not her. That is just.
I know. I'm kind of the
meat.
same.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm like,
feel...
they're gone now. Who cares? That's just meat.
So, like, I don't think that, the people should... So I was looking up after I played the mortuary game, and there is a whole thing that does natural burial, where you just give them the corpse and they don't embalm it or close its eyes or wire its mouth, and they like turn it into compost and put it under trees.
That's fine.
It's very expensive.
That's the
though.
problem. It's so
very
expensive. You can't just fly tip somebody. Like, you can't just leave me in a hedge.
Well, you can't just leave you in a hedge, because that might spread disease or something.
You can clean me first.
Why should I clean you?
No, I'll just pay somebody to clean me with a hose.
You can get a mushroom
Drop me
coffin.
naked in a hedge, and then let
that's
the
cool.
foxes eat me.
A little mushroom coffin.
Ah, do hedgehogs eat meat? I know they eat bugs. Do they eat like Other meat?
My late friend had a natural burial, wicker casket and everything.
That's kind of nice.
So would they like, turned into compost and put under the tree?
Mushroom coffin sounds cute, especially if it's shaped like an actual mushroom. I'd love that.
I think a natural burial, yeah, because I don't want my eyes glued shut or my jaw wired. It's like...
You used to leave cat food out for hedgehogs. Hedgehogs can eat me. You can cut me up a little bit and leave me in a few hedges so it goes quicker.
Buried in the woodland, lovely ceremony. That sounds really nice.
Yeah, I'd be into that, I guess.
My father didn't want to be embalmed, but the laws required it. Oh, really?
Oh, God. Yeah, you'd have to look up that.
That doesn't sound very... If you don't want it, because I imagine you had to pay for that, did you? Or someone had to
I
pay for
assume
it.
so.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very nice.
Throw you in a deep, dark cave. I think the coffin is made out of mushroom substrate instead of just a giant mushroom shape. I would want it in a mushroom shape. I don't want to be buried in like a gnome mushroom.
I always find... I like graveyards, walking through graveyards for a walk. They're peaceful, but I don't like...
Yeah, I like hanging out in graveyards.
I don't like the idea... Maybe it's like a subconscious fear of being buried alive, but I don't like the idea of actually being...
You've read too much Edgar Allan Poe.
I don't like the idea of being buried. So I always liked the idea of being cremated and my ashes being put in the sea. But then Kane was like, well, cremation is very environmentally damaging too.
Matter, really. I mean, if you're worried about emissions, stop eating meat. That's way more than cremation.
I went to a few...
So much more.
I went to a funeral once that was a cremation, and I guess I knew it wasn't going to be like, oh, there's going to be a chimney and ashes coming out of it. But I don't know what I was expecting. But it was so lovely and peaceful. I hate...
Did it smell nice?
It didn't smell of it. We didn't smell anything. It was so... I don't like putting bodies in the ground. Like, I don't know if this is in other countries or just here, but when you have a funeral and the coffin goes in the ground and you like throw mud on it.
Yeah.
I hate that. I
was a pallbearer for somebody a few years ago.
Is that where you carry the coffin?
Yeah.
It must have hurt.
No, I mean there was like 6 people carrying it. 6 people for a box with a body in it.
I don't like coffins either. They freak me out. Yeah,
they're a bit wasteful. I think.
If I die, just put me on a pyre, burn me, and put my ashes in the ocean.
Like do a Faramir.
Yeah, put my ashes in the ocean.
As my default for pyre, apparently.
Don't keep my ashes, because I think it's weird when people keep ashes and they have it in their house.
I keep your body?
You do you. Have your ashes in the house if you want, but I don't want people to keep my ashes.
What if I just plasticize you, like in Bodyworks, and just keep you around?
It doesn't all burn to dust. There are fragments left behind.
Yes.
We had the bones, yeah. Then they grind the bone into dust, and they put that
to
in
make
with
their
the
bread.
ashes, and they put that into the ashes. Because when our dog died...
Oh, you could make them into bread!
When our dog died, he got cremated, and we were given his ashes, and they told us, okay, we've ground down the bones, and we've put the bones in with the rest of the ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mum kept the dog's ashes. She kept it in the living room inside a little urn thing. And I was like, that's creepy, man. Just go scatter his ashes in a park or in the ocean. Somewhere, a park would be nice. I don't know if you can scatter human ashes in a park, but I wouldn't mind being scattered in a nice park.
No, I've kind of decided I'm gonna embalm you or plasticize you or something and just have you sitting reading a book in the corner forever.
You mean taxidermy?
Yeah, like taxidermy. Like a taxidermy Emma, and just have her sitting going. That would be kind of
My cousin tried to burn somebody on their own. Oh no, they tried to scatter someone. Ashes flew back in their face.
The Big Lebowski?
Yeah, you'd have to do it where it's not windy.
There's a problem in Australia where cemeteries are getting overfull. That's a problem here as well. There's so many cemeteries and they're all full.
That's the other
because,
thing.
a lot of famines and death. So there's a lot of full cemeteries
that's
here.
Another thing. If we didn't bury dead bodies, just more land for houses.
Yeah.
Instead of it being... Though graveyards are nice. I don't really like the idea of burying bodies, but going through graveyards, they're so peaceful and quiet.
Very dark stream today. See, I don't find this dark.
I don't find it dark either. But I
think other countries are a bit weirder about bodies.
I do read a lot of war stories and true crime.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, I do think it's just that other countries are a bit fucky about bodies. Every Irish person has seen or been around bodies.
Yeah, because you have the thing where you see...
You have wakes and stuff like that. Yeah. It's fine. Well, you're not frightened of bodies or anything.
I love that we went from crisps to cremation. You could make people crisps. You wanted to play this game. You said I was talking too much. You're the one who stopped playing the game and talking about corpses.
In Germany, I think, I might be wrong, you get a grave for a set amount of years, and if you don't renew it, it'll get cleared out and reused. I think that's kind of fun.
I think that's the same here.
Yeah.
Because you can buy a plot. Mm-hmm. And lots of people have family plots, don't they? Mm-hmm. And really rich people, not so much now, but in the old days, you see that in graveyards, the tomb, the family tomb, or the family vault.
Yeah, but they'd get reused, I think is what it is.
Oh,
you rent them for maybe 15 years or something.
We'll play your game, so.
Okay, fine. I'd like to be reanimated in a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic. They've decommissioned all of those. It's now CGI tapes.
Every American,
Terrible.
Every American kid I've ever read about who went to Chuck E. Cheese says that you either love Chuck E. Cheese or you're terrified of Chuck E. Cheese.
It looks pretty fucky and weird.
Yeah, they look scary. Yeah.
They made that horror franchise Friday Nights at Freddy's, right?
Play your
Which
game.
looks shit. But
Ow.
there's a movie coming out of it.
Play your game.
Is Nicolas Cage in that movie?
Play your game.
Fine. Take pulse.
Oh, you just don't want to do this.
I don't like taking the pulse. Don't touch my wrists, weirdo. Are we done?
Doc, do you mind not
am I doing
talking
this
so
right?
loudly about death whilst taking the pulse? Bring back wolves in Europe and feed them dead folk. Actually, I don't know if it still is. It might be, because I think I saw...
Oh, I'm meant to be tapping! Fuck me!
I think I saw it in a documentary. But in Mongolia, they either used to or they still do. They have a thing called a sky funeral, where they put the corpse...
I'm fucked.
Where they put the corpses out on the cliffs and the birds eat them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember I told you about
Yeah.
that? I think they still do it because I saw a documentary about it. Yeah, not the whole of Mongolia. I saw a documentary about it and it was like BBC and it was like, warning, you're about to see birds eat a body. And the birds were eating the dead bodies and this BBC British guy was getting sick and the Mongolian tribal people were like, what? It's not sick. And he was like getting
I
sick.
think I'm holding it down now. There we go. Test vision. Look up. Look up. Now look over here. Now look down here. There we go. Lovely. Post-seizure vitals complete.
Dr. Gray will bring you down to surgery shortly.
Is that it? Oh, choice. Final plea or cold shoulder?
Up to you.
No.
Well, I don't know. I don't care enough.
Yes, you do. You love this.
No, I don't.
You love soaps, and this is basically a soap, like you said.
Cold shoulder.
Cold shoulder. We're going
Well, you
bitch
said
mode.
you said you're on
I'm
Derek's side.
Entering
so-
my bitch era. I've been on Twitter too much.
You said that you're into Derek or whatever. So if you think Derek's right, then give her the cold shoulder.
Might have been with Simon Reeve, BBC guy. I saw a similar thing. My wife is an eye expert now after having been in hospital for months because of shingles in her eye. You can get shingles in your eye?
Ooh.
Isn't shingles like chicken pox for adults?
That's awful.
Oh, God. That's horrific.
That's awful.
You can. Oh, God. Emma keeps going up to eye doctors because you've got, like...
Panuveitis in my
Yeah.
right eye. A chronic panuveitis, where basically the eyeball swells.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have cataracts in the eye as a side effect.
Emma has gotten cataracts.
Mhm.
Emma is 30 years old
Mhm.
and has like very mild cataracts. It's incredible.
It's not incredible. It's horrible.
I know, but like, you know, incredible in an old-fashioned way. Like, how does that happen?
Because the eyeball swelled,
Swolled.
whatever the word is, it's a side effect of the panuveitis.
Mm-hmm. Cold shoulder. Let's do cold shoulder. We need to match groups of 3. This game is deranged.
This is a very strange game.
What do you mean? We're giving him the cold shoulder. This is how it should be portrayed, apparently.
My wife
No!
is getting a
Give me
medical
more!
piece written
Give me
about her
more!
case. Wow, that's interesting.
There we go.
Stop shaking your leg.
No, I like shaking my leg.
Stop.
I like it.
Stop.
I like twitching my leg.
It's so annoying.
If only you were as committed to our relationship as you are to yours and Christina's.
Ooh. Fucking cold. Rank attending. Still don't know what that means.
They should just like break up.
This is the one that people like. And so far I hate her.
Stop shaking your leg.
Sugar fix?
Oh, look at his chin. I just want to get my snack. Cut away the unwanted image. Ignore or acknowledge.
I suppose say hi. We play.
Okay. We'll... cut away, ignore. There we go. Hi, I hate your hair.
Candy stripers.
Then it's a good thing I'm a scrub nurse. The name's Vince.
Hi,
Christina,
Vince.
Dr. Yang.
Oh, she's so horrible.
My treat.
No, she's not. She earned the right to be called a doctor. Call me a doctor.
My treat. Nah, that's fine. I can pay for my own stuff. I'm a doctor, you know. I need to
yeah.
shoot him down. That is an unflattering photo. Give me around 2 weeks and I can make this game. This, a bit like the Coronation Street game, I'm gonna say 3 days was the dev time. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna click on the bad thoughts. Get rid of them. Come on! My mouse is going all fucky. There we go.
This is a very strange game.
It's great. It's amazing.
Stop shaking your leg.
I'm not going to.
It's very annoying.
It's my stream thing.
You do it all the time.
Yes, I do.
You always shake your leg.
Or not. So buying you a candy bar is a no-go. How about letting me treat you to
Oh,
something
fuck
else?
off, dude.
Like
She's clearly not
maybe dinner.
interested. Oh, what a prick. Well, he said you don't want a candy bar.
Walk away or cut him down.
You have to cut down, Min.
Cut him down.
Because
yes.
men don't get the message unless you bluntly tell them.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Cut him down. Oh, fuck. Angry face, right? Angry face. We need arm, and we need this one. I'm great at this game.
I remember when I was dating my previous partner, I was at a party with a friend, and this guy was like, he wanted to, like, you know, hook up. And I was like, I have a boyfriend. No, thank you. And he was like, well, how long have you been dating your boyfriend? And
Oh, Jesus.
and I was like, 6 months. And he was like, well, that's not very long. And nobody would know. This would just be one time.
Oh, God.
And then when I left the party at the end, he handed me like a poem saying that he might love me and I was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. Oh. Oh,
I mean, it's true. You are the most beautiful woman in the world.
you're very sweet. Oh.
Oh, lads. Oh, God.
I regret how I handled it because looking back on it, I shouldn't have just
You
said.
should have.
I shouldn't have just said no. I have a boyfriend. I should have said no. I said no. Fuck off.
Or
I should
you
have gotten angrier with him.
get your hand, you pretend you're about to move in, and then you grab his testicles and give him torsion, which is where one testicle sort of wraps around the other testicle, like the
Oh.
stems of the testicles,
Ooh.
and it's like really intense pain. And then he drops down, and then you go, huh, and then leave.
Well, then I'd get arrested for
No,
assault.
nobody could prove it. It can just happen sometimes, I think.
Ooh.
You could do that thing that everybody heard rumors of in secondary school if you owned testicles.
If you owned testicles?
Yeah, if you own some testicles.
You mean if you have some testicles?
Whatever.
If you own testicles.
If you have some testicles, whatever, however you got them. If you, you always heard in secondary school that somebody in the rugby club dislocated their hip, and then when they put it back in, they hadn't noticed that one of the testicles had somehow found its way into the socket, and then they pushed it back in and crushed the testicle.
Can we not talking about testicles being
But do that, basically.
being twisted?
Like, you can, I don't know, knock him out, drag him behind an alley and do that to him.
There was no need to knock it out. But I wish I had been.
I heard that. See, everyone did. Every boy heard that.
I wish I had been more. I was also kind of frightened. Not frightened as in I thought he was going to attack me or anything. Just like frightened. You know, that whole thing, oh, I don't want to come across as a bitch, you know. Because I remember I was ignoring him at one point, like completely ignoring him, when he was like going like, come on, come on, come on. And then one of my friends was, I won't name her, but Kane knows. One of my friends was like, just stop it, Emma, you're being rude. Don't make it so obvious.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's kind of what they teach you as a girl. It's almost like you're supposed to be flattered.
There's a little testicle hole you can hide them in. Much later, though, I was not a boy until later, so it checks out. When you become a boy, you were told that as some sort of mandatory thing, I think. I don't know why.
An initiation into manhood.
Yeah. It's that, and everybody at least told me about that one rugby player who got his testicles kicked open.
Haribo. Does that say Haribo?
Haribo?
Haribo. No, it's Haribo, isn't it?
Whatever.
Haribo is right.
I always say Haribo.
Haribo is right.
Because I like Straubs by Haribo, and it reminds me of them.
Haribo.
Haribo.
It's Haribo.
Are you saying Haribo for the jellies?
It's Haribo.
Haribo.
It's Haribo.
Haribo.
Fine, Haribo. Both are correct. Haribo. You're right, Haribo. Fuck them creeps.
Kids and grown-ups love it so. The happy world of Haribo.
Haribo.
Okay. The thing where a rugby player got kicked with the boots so hard that their scrotum split open, and he taped them back up. Like, his testicle was out, one of them, and he like put it back in and taped it up for a bit. Yeah, the guy who got his nut stitched up, that's it. And then went back on, played 10 minutes more rugby, and then got hit so hard that he got knocked unconscious.
It's always rugby, lads, the weird ones.
Yeah, they're fucking weird.
I remember on one of my last days of college before the summer break, I was sitting outside the classroom. There was like a weird sort of benchy area, and I was sitting there waiting for the class. And there was some rugby guys, I guess they played the UC rugby team.
Rug boys.
And they were sitting next to me, and they were comparing injuries, and they were fucked up.
Yeah, rugby people are always a bit
this
fucked.
This guy had no teeth here.
Yeah.
And the other guy's wrist was broken. And they had a third friend who was like, lads, is this worth it now? And they were going like, yes, we love rugby. We love rugby.
My brother used to play rugby fairly seriously.
But they had black eyes and bruises.
Oh yeah, my brother had broken limbs and dislocations all the time. But like,
maybe they're just into BDSM.
I think that's what it is. My brother did later come out as bi. I just think he might have been into it.
Everyone who's bi is into BDSM.
No, I mean just like it's an excuse, a socially acceptable excuse for very macho laddie people to rub up against men. You've seen scrums and rocks. Like my god. But anyway, they my brother has a thing wrong with his joints, so he dislocates a lot. And I watched him get tackled every so often, and he looked like one of those toys where you push the button and all of their limbs go limp, and like marionettes. He just would fall apart and have to like put himself back together, like pop, 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 pop. It's hilarious. And people would make fun of people for wearing scrum caps, which are like the protective helmet things, because it was seen as like, oh, you fucking, you know, I'm going to use a word I don't like, you fucking pussy. Like, why would you wear a scrum cap? So that was a thing.
The being bisexual stands for BDSM and the I stands for interest. What does BIDSM stand for?
Bisexual or BDSM interest. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck me. We die like men, unnecessarily violent. I mean, look, that is rugby. It's a very sort of laddish, middle-class laddish kind of sport.
I want to do a thing now too, because you know how you were saying that the sort of entry into manhood is the testicle story. Like you were joking, obviously. But I remember you told me a story recently that was nice, because people who were identified as girls will know this now, that when you're a girl, girls go to the toilet together in groups. I don't know why we do that, but you know that a girl wants to be your friend if she goes to the bathroom with you, and you'll be in opposite stalls and you'll be talking to each other. And every time you go into a girl's bathroom in a public place, especially like a college, one girl will be by the sink talking to her friend who's inside the bathroom. And Kane told me a nice story of like a trans girl knew that she'd been like accepted by her peers, and it was like time to go to the bathroom. Like, and I remember when I had some female friends a couple of years ago, like I remember they'd go to the bathroom and they'd turn around and I wasn't following them, and they'd be like, Emma, come on. No. They just want to have the chats.
No, I wouldn't want to.
I don't like it. It feels weird. I don't know why women like share the bath. Yeah, I don't really get it either, Haribo. It's like a bathroom is a place where you do gross things and then you leave. Whenever you go into a girl's bathroom, there'll be a girl by the mirror, brushing her hair, putting on her makeup, chatting away to her friends. It's really weird. And J.K. Rowling is a terrible woman, but when she said that Moaning Myrtle was based on there's always a drunk girl crying in one of the stalls, she's right about that. If you go to a pub or a nightclub, not that I've been in like 10 years, but whenever you go to a pub or a nightclub, there's always one girl in the corner sobbing her eyes out, her high heels off, going like, I hate men. I know that sounds like stereotypes, but it's true. And there'll always be one drunk girl who'll be like, girls, I love you, to total strangers. I love you. It's true.
Once upon a time, I was that girl. Whenever I'm in a woman's bathroom, I'm like, dump him. Men in bathrooms are all incredibly quiet and awkward because they don't like being vulnerable. Yes, I think that's true.
You've used men's bathrooms. Do you feel that way?
Oh, I just feel awkward. I don't want to be in there. Like, I don't want anyone perceiving me when I'm doing those things. I don't want to, like, if I'm going into the bathroom, I want it to basically be like a memory hole. I don't want anybody to know I'm in there. I don't want anyone to know I've gone. Don't like it. But
when I did read that thing about Moaning Myrtle, I was like, what are you talking about, JK? Because I hadn't been to, like, pubs or clubs, and for a brief time, because it made my anxiety go haywire being in pubs and clubs. And I would often go to the bathroom to escape, but the bathroom was just as bad, full of women all shouting, being like, girl, you leave him, girl, I love you. And yeah, a girl in the corner 9 times out of 10 sobbing her eyes out. Everyone just ignoring her, and she's like sobbing her eyes out, going like, men, I know it sounds stereotypical, but it's true. Some stereotypes are true. In the men's bathroom, there's always one woman that walks in saying, "Fuck this, I'm not waiting in that line. I'm not interested in your cocks anyway."
Always makes me smirk.
Yeah, the women's bathrooms, you can never get into a women's bathroom. They're
Oh,
always
is
packed.
this Testicle Boy? Testicle Boy, Buck Shelford. Is this Mr. Testicle?
Panda? I mean, Kim.
It is! It is Mr. Testicle. Buck Shelford.
You're not going to, like, look at his poor injured testicles, are
No,
you?
I'm just going to look up the story. Testicle.
It would say it in Wikipedia.
Is the hardest man to play rugby. Fuck me, that's a headline. His scrotum burst open and he refused to leave the field. He was a noted...
Isn't that like the worst agony a man can have, or a person
I think torsion is
a
meant to
person
be.
with testicles can have? So, like, why wouldn't you just leave the field?
I don't know if
Go to a doctor?
It depends. Like if something hit an open air testicle, that would probably be like the fires of hell.
I don't.
But-
Can we not? I don't want to talk about that sort of thing.
I'm opening up an article.
No, I don't want to hear about the poor person's scrotum bursting. It's disgusting.
I had it tidied up and put back together. These things happen. You've just got to play on. He concluded.
Good for you. I don't want to hear. That's disgusting. Go to a doctor.
One of the guys from across the room said, "Holy shit! Look at that! One of my testicles had been ripped out of the scrotum.
Stop
Was
it.
hanging off
Could you
between my
stop?
legs."
Could you stop? That's
Okay.
disgusting.
Sorry.
I don't want to know. That is horrible. Jesus.
Former New Zealand rugby union footballer and coach.
God. Men are such idiots
I
when they're
know.
like, blood is coming out my ears, but I'm going to play on because I'm a man.
Yeah.
It's like, go to a doctor, you moron.
They have field doctors.
You're like that
Who
too.
are horrific.
You never want to go to the doctor.
No.
I have to nag you into going to the doctor.
Mhm.
And isn't there some fucking study that says that single men live shorter lifespans because men with girlfriends, their girlfriends nag them to go to the
Yes.
doctor? I mean, what the fuck?
I talked to my nana recently, and she was complaining of that with my granddad, that my granddad went to the doctor complaining of something, just kind of sat there and was too awkward to actually say what was
Oh my
wrong, and
God.
came out and didn't have any medicine with him, and she took him by the arm and marched him back into the doctor and went, "Tell him what's wrong," and he went like, "Oh," and mentioned some medication that she was on for similar stuff, and then came out with medication.
And yeah, it's your gender that rules the world. I have one more bathroom story.
Mm-hmm.
There was another time I went into the bathroom with some friends, and we were arguing. We were having a really bad argument. I won't go into details about that. But a lady came out of the bathroom stall, and she was not drunk. She was slightly tipsy, and she went, "Girls, girls, girls. Sometimes nights out are magical, and sometimes you don't feel it. If you're not feeling it, girls, it's okay to go home." And then she hugged us. And then she hugged us all. And it actually was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
It did feel like a sort of, yay, sisterhood. Are you Haribo? Yes. Yes is in reference to that.
I guess so.
It did feel lovely. It felt, that was nice.
I had
Yes
one
to the go home, girl.
I had one really awkward experience in college. I'm not the buffest man, but on our high school men's wrestling team, there was a cis woman who was 6'4", 400 pounds. Fuck me. She scared most of the men. Well, she grabbed my hair and dragged me into the women's bathroom and nearly punched me in the face because she confused me for her boyfriend who cheated on her. What the fuck? One time a guy in high school was flirting with me because he smoked too much weed and thought I was his girlfriend.
Much
Is
less.
this a thing?
At least that was his claim.
That can't be a thing, right? I've had weed twice. I've taken weed twice, and it has never done anything like that. It had no effect, and then the second time it made me very, very sleepy and slightly irritable. I don't think I'd forget who Emma was or anything. Anyway, resume. We've just turned down this boy.
Look at that smug prick.
He's playing.
He's like,
She's playing hard to get.
I'll turn that yes into a no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's playing hard to get. She wants me, really. Look at my chin.
Ugh, fucking creep.
Well, look at him. He's TV handsome.
We teach girls to avoid getting assaulted. We don't teach boys, don't do
Mm-hmm.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bruise above left temple. Tell Dr. Karev to watch for hematoma.
I hate this guy as well. He looks horrible. Everybody looks like a fret bro in
It
this.
took my screaming, I like dick and I'm dating a man, for her not to punch me.
Oh, that's so horrible.
I ate too many cash cookies in Copenhagen, thought I had died. Something before Kane tells the story. Cause
I wasn't going to.
He does, he always tells my embarrassing stories.
I wasn't going
We
to.
had weed which is technically illegal here. We had weed one Christmas with Kane's uncle from Spain. He's actually from Spain, he lives in Spain. And his parents had weed because they used to be stoners in college, Gen Xers. And me and Kane had weed too. And Kane had no reaction. I felt like I was dying. I smoked a bit of the weed and I felt like
My parents pulled out a bong from their counter and went, yeah, let's do this.
It was like panic attack and like, but more because I frequently have panic attacks because of my OCD. Well, I haven't had too many in a while now.
Oh, you're getting a bit better with them.
But like, this was not even a panic attack. This was like end of the world. I was dizzy. I was vomiting. The room was spinning. I felt like my heart. Not just I was going to have a heart attack, but like my heart was going to come out of my body. It was horrible. And then when we went to Amsterdam last summer, Kane was like, well, we have to try weed. And I was like, no, I'm not having that experience in a foreign country where I don't know anyone. So Kane took some weed and it didn't affect him. He just got really cranky.
I got very sleepy and slightly cranky. Like incredibly sleepy.
Like, well, he was cranky. We went to a restaurant after and I was having some food and Kane was just like, can you hurry up, please? I want to go back to the hotel and go to sleep. And I was like, I've only just started,
Well,
Kane.
I was literally about to fall over. Like, I nearly fell asleep while walking back. It was horrific. I hated it. I didn't like it. Stop saying taking weed. We're nerds.
Smoking weed in Amsterdam was fine, to be honest. It was very sleepy and relaxing. Well, you
I
got
was so tired.
You got sleepy, but you weren't relaxed. You were cranky.
No,
you were like a little baby that hadn't had a nap.
I was so sleepy, and I knew that we had to take a fucking tram back to the hotel, and I was like, oh, I just don't want to have to deal with it. I'm so annoyed. But yeah, Emma, when she first took weed,
And the one and only time.
Yeah. Well, I followed her up as she went upstairs, and I found her sitting on a tile floor in a bathroom, rocking back and forth, going, am I going to die?
I don't know. I tell my embarrassing stories.
I know. Well, you already told some of
Well,
it.
you didn't tell that bit. You don't have to tell them everything.
I just thought it was sweet.
It wasn't sweet. It felt like
I sat with you and rocked with you for a bit.
You laughed.
And then put you to bed.
You laughed.
I did a little, like a tiny bit. I laughed. And then put you to bed.
I thought, and then downstairs I could hear your parents digging into crisps, probably potatoes, and watching Blazing Saddles and laughing their heads off. I was like, why can't, and Kane had no effect and I felt like I was dying. I was like, why can't I have that? Why can't I be downstairs laughing at nothing and eating crisps, the munchies? Why am I up here feeling like death?
My parents and my uncle got higher than I've ever seen anyone, even in a movie, get. Like, they were fucking blazed out of their minds. My dad...
They were having the time of their life. They were eating crisps and they were laughing at Blazing Saddles. And
they could barely speak.
And I was like to Kane, go and tell them to call the hospital. Don't laugh at me. I was very unwell.
I'm sorry.
So Kane was like, again, he had no reaction. He'd smoked the same amount as me and no reaction. And Kane was like, I can't, Emma. They're high off their heads. And I was like, go and tell them to call the hospital. And eventually he went downstairs and he came up and he was like, Emma, they said after a couple of minutes of me trying to get the answer, they said that this is perfectly normal and you're not dying. And I was like, Kane, I'm going to be the first person that dies from weed.
No. Poor Emma.
I was like, what do they mean? This stuff, all those American movies, like what's that one?
What?
Reefer Madness. They're true.
What, from the 1920s
They're true.
or whatever?
I'm dying. This stuff is nice. I'm dying.
Weed turned ugly on me around 27. Mushrooms are very fun, sames. I would try mushrooms, I think. I've genuinely never taken a drug. That's the only 2 times I've ever taken a drug. And it wasn't much.
Maybe
and it didn't
it was
affect me.
because of my antidepressants.
Maybe. I don't know how they mix.
Well, they do say that if you have certain types of mental illness, like apparently if you have schizophrenia, you should not take weed because it makes you paranoid. It has the opposite effect on people with schizophrenia. I guess it's a downer, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you have certain types of mental illness, you're not meant to take it because it will make you feel bad. So maybe it just badly mixed with my antidepressants.
Yeah, your specific brain and your antidepressants maybe just went like, nope.
My
no,
specific brain.
Yeah, like your Emma brain.
Play the game.
What? Your Emma brain?
Play the game.
Okay, sorry.
My brain. Well, no, my brain is not a great brain. But it's
Yes, it is. I've never weeded, but I do like mushrooms, especially sauteed
you meant
or
mushrooms,
grilled.
not normal mushrooms.
I don't really like mushrooms that much. Fried, crisped mushrooms are nice on
Yeah,
like
they
a
are.
roll or some toast.
Does anyone know if I can have any weed with what?
That is what I'm on, escitalopram. I want to try it, but my friend is scared to
I'm
give
on
me.
fluoxetine.
I have had any. I have been on that for about a year and a bit. I was when we were in Amsterdam, and it just made me very sleepy.
I'm on
It's
fluoxetine.
so
Is that how you
sleepy.
pronounce it? Fluoxetine?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a thing too. That's been on Twitter. It's like if you're on that thing, what, say that again?
Escitalopram?
I
don't know.
meant to tell you, if you're on that, because I know you're on that, and I'm on fluoxetine. If you're on any antidepressants, you're more likely to get dehydrated.
Mhm.
Remember, I think they
That's why I drink 4 liters of
yeah,
water a
it's
day,
like
I think.
you're more likely to get sort of sunburned and dehydration and stuff.
Is that why I'm so fucked?
Mixing alcohol with weed has been my mistake, probably because of the antidepressants.
My parents, when I was with my parents when they did weed, they were already a little drunk, and my uncle was quite drunk, and then got so unbelievably high as well. They seemed to love it. My dad, did a bong rip that was so loud and long that he coughed for about 2 minutes afterwards and then went, fuck, I forgot I wasn't back at a festival.
I remember when I first went on my antidepressants, I've only gotten drunk once in my life, and I don't plan on doing it again because it was a horrible experience. So I don't drink alcohol. I guess you could say I'm teetotal. And the doctor was
I
like...
have never been drunk.
The doctor was like, he was like, okay, now you can't drink a little bit of alcohol in these. And I was like, I'm teetotal anyway. And he's, oh, that's good because you really shouldn't drink alcohol in these.
It's just they have to go like you're going to anyway.
Well, most people
I
will,
know.
yeah.
It's Ireland.
Being drunk was fun for like the first half an hour. Like, I got really loud. Surprise, surprise.
I was about to say, it's shocking.
I stood up on a bar table and
Emma.
and I sang a song.
Oh, Emma.
And I was 20. I was 20 because I remember I kept going around total strangers in the pub and being like, hi, I'm Irish and I'm 20 and this is my first time drunk. Can you believe that? Isn't that hilarious?
Oh, God, I would run away from you.
They just ignored me.
Oh, that would hurt. I can't. Oh, the cringe. Ooh.
And then my then boyfriend, he took me home, and then on the way home, I don't know why, I just crashed and I started bawling my eyes out. But all of that was nothing. I went to sleep, and the next day I had college. And I decided to go because I'd been with my then boyfriend and these lads from our class who had a drinking club every Thursday, and they always turned up on Fridays. So I'm like, I'm not going to be outperformed by the lads. I'm going to come to school on Friday. But I felt like death. Hangovers. I don't know how human beings can do hangovers. Like, I felt so sick and I felt off. It was worse than any illness I've ever felt. But I went into school, and the English teacher was talking about it was a poem about a man gushing his fish and giving it to his son, and the poem went into like graphic detail about gushing this fish, and I was like, I'm gonna have to run to the bathroom. So I ran to the bathroom and vomited everywhere. It was horrible.
Oh, no.
Never again.
I love you.
Never again. Never again.
That's a very Emma story.
Oh, read it now.
Yes. Just, if you were to write out, even if I hadn't heard that, if you were to tell me to write out what Emma getting drunk would be like, I would say that. I've been drunk exactly 3 times. I've sworn off it, and so far I haven't been drunk since, but I have about one drink per week on average. I don't drink at all, really, and it's not because I'm like anti-alcohol or anything like that, or anti-drugs. I just don't ever bother. It's quite expensive, and I'm always like, I don't really want to or care.
And it stinks and tastes disgusting. And you say, no, you don't drink it for the taste, but
My dad claims he does. He's so into G&Ts and so into stout.
Because whenever I tell people I'm teetotal, or that, because in Ireland you're a freak if you're teetotal.
Yes.
and I say, well, it tastes disgusting anyway. It's always like, well, you don't drink it for the taste. It's like, fuck off and leave me alone, dickhead.
Some things do taste nice. I simply have never tasted one that's good. Because anytime I say this, I'm always offered like alcoholic drinks. Like, oh, just sip this.
Oh, I know, I hate that. Fucking paddies.
So many times.
Fucking paddies will not let you be teetotal.
Just sip this and just try it. And I go, tastes exactly the same as everything else. Tastes like strongly of alcohol.
We went to Birmingham.
Oh, actually, you know what? I lie. I do like mulled wine. Mulled wine is nice.
We went to Birmingham
You reminded
recently,
me of
me
it.
and Kane, and we had a shot.
Mhm.
I should never have agreed to it.
It was pretty rancid.
I nearly got sick on the spot.
I know. You
Oh.
actually were like, please clear the seat so I can get up.
I should never have agreed to it. I will never do it again. It was peer pressure. They didn't pressure me at all. But since they were all doing it, I was like, well, I can't be the only one that doesn't do it.
Yes, you can.
I don't want to be, the odd one out.
Oh my God.
Piggy in the middle. Piggy in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Did no one ever say that to you at school?
No, I
When
don't
you
know
were the
what that
only
is.
one not doing something, and they'd go, piggy in the middle, piggy in the middle.
I thought that was when people would steal your things and throw them over your head.
No.
Yeah. And then they'd like, if bigger boys came over and stole your backpack, and if you were a little
Oh,
one.
okay. What
What?
happened to you in school?
If bigger boys came over and stole your things, and then they'd throw it over your head, wasn't that what that was called?
I
And
never.
like keep it away from you?
I
You're
was
thinking of monkey in the middle.
I was bullied. I was bullied in school, but girls do psychological bullying. They don't
Oh,
take.
yeah, I was hospitalized a couple of times.
Yeah, boys beat
Very physical vibe.
boys beat up other boys. Girls, when they bully you, they just destroy you emotionally.
Mhm.
If you've ever seen Mean Girls, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We should watch Mean Girls. That's a good movie. That's a fun movie.
You said that about so many movies from the 90s and early 2000s. I
I
watched Clueless for you. Oh.
Clueless wasn't as
Oh.
good as I remembered. I still enjoyed it though.
I have heard that Mean Girls is great.
Mean Girls is fantastic. And that just gets, again, I know it sounds like stereotypes, and I don't know if it's nature or nurture or whatever, but the stereotypes are true.
I've never heard anyone say that they haven't liked Mean Girls, to be fair.
Because girls, when girls,
Whatever their gender.
when girls bully you, they are vicious. they won't lay a finger on you, but they will destroy your mind.
Yeah, it was a different vibe growing up.
I'd like to rewatch that, Romy and Michelle's High School
I never
Reunion.
heard of that.
I watched it when I was very small, like 6 or something. I'd like to watch it again.
If I had to experience an MDMA come down now, I would immediately kill myself.
I think the worst time I ever got drunk, I remember my first sip of beer and then woke up the next day in Vancouver. I was in Toronto the night before.
Vancouver, beautiful city of light.
We haven't really played this game at all.
No, I've written it off at this point. We're ending in a bit anyway.
Mean Girls is very it is, yeah.
Well, it's a 2000s comedy, isn't it?
yeah.
So it would be. That's the default experience. I've never heard of Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion.
I told you about
Had
it
an
the other day.
Did you?
I did, yeah. You don't listen to me.
No. I had an awful come down in Aberystwyth, walking home at 7 a.m. Oof. I have never taken ecstasy, MDMA. I know my parents have talked about it. Again, they are from the 90s. So they have talked about taking yolks in a club.
Yolks?
Yeah.
What are yolks?
Ease.
Oh, is that why people say yolks?
Well, that was slang in the 90s for ecstasy.
No, because in my school...
How's it going, Horse? Do you want a couple of yolks?
No, in my school, I think it's just a Cork thing. You call everything yolks. Like this.
Yeah, it's like
this water bottle.
slang for thing, but if somebody offers you some yolks, then it's
Yeah,
ease.
this water bottle is a yolk. That screen is a yolk.
Emma's constantly saying, pass me the yolk there. Pass me the yolk there, like.
It's being around Nuku in Birmingham. I got more Irish.
Mm-hmm. But like,
Someone's ringing you.
I'll just ignore it.
Well, it could be some...
I think it's the fucking prepay bill company again trying to sell me things. I need to
Oh.
block the number.
Fair enough.
Got it kind of right the first time there. Aberystwyth?
Learning new Irish slang all the time.
Yolks.
We should learn some Aussie slang.
You drongo. You drongo.
What if it's important?
It's not. I looked up the number.
Hmm.
I'm putting it down here. Struth, you drongo. No one says drongo. Dingoes eating babies. That's one.
know.
I know it is. I know. Aberystwyth.
Want to learn some?
Aberystwyth.
Want to learn some Canadian slang? Sure.
Loonies and Toonies. Timmies. Double. Hoser. I don't know. Nobody likes Quebec or Alberta. Alberta is the one that
What
people
does
don't
that
like.
mean? Parkade.
Parkade, don't know. Tinnies is Australian.
Ow.
Tinnies, is that like a bag of cans in Ireland?
Nice.
You want to go out for a bag of cans? I think I've heard tinnies in England as well. Yeah, it probably is borrowed from there. But it's always said. Timmy's is Canadian, yes.
I heard a story that in Australia, slang for having sex with someone is to root them.
Yes, a root.
And there was apparently...
Give me something I can root to.
And there was like some story about an American girl who was staying with her exchange family, you know, like a foreign exchange student. And she was saying, I root for all the boys on the team. And they were like, what?
Having a root. Which is probably the most disgusting, unpleasant term for that I've ever heard.
I think the Irish, like in Ireland,
having a ride.
the slang for having sex with someone
To have a ride,
is
like...
to ride them. I rid her.
Oh, she looks like a fierce
She
ride.
looks like a ride.
Fierce ride, like...
Oh, it's disgusting.
Jeez, saw them eating the face off each other and then she went for a ride.
They're very fierce ride. It's just disgusting.
Oh, horrific.
It's almost as bad as shagging. Shagging is a
not great.
horrible word.
I didn't come here to fuck spiders. I recently learned about that one. It's amazing.
What's that one?
It's like, you know, I didn't come here to chew bubblegum or whatever. Or like, you know, I didn't come here to fuck spiders.
What about bronzer? Is bronzer cream?
Bonzer?
Bonzer?
Yeah, like Sheila's wheels. Remember Sheila's wheels?
No.
You know, for Bonza car insurance deals,
Oh, I
girls
think I
come down to
vaguely
Sheila's
do,
wheels.
yeah.
I think this is the worst thing in the world.
Nothing worse than a drunk Australian man saying, want a root or give us a kiss.
Oh, want a route. Oh, I can't do an Australian accent.
There's
You'll
another,
see.
in Cork, this is very specific slang to Cork City. Maybe not all of the region of the county of, I think county means the same as state. So
Yeah.
I don't know, translate it however you want. Me and Kane are both from the county of Cork, but I am from the city. And he's from this little shit town. But
Yes.
like, do you have that expression here for women? Bores.
I've heard it once or twice.
Yeah, that's what in Cork City you call women bores, and I know it sounds like the pig, but it's they pronounce it in a certain way. It's like she's a right bore, I love her now. Biors.
Yeah, Bjors.
Biors, not bores.
Well, it
Biors.
means like woman, doesn't it?
Oh,
Or
it's
girl.
Irish, is it?
Yeah, it's Irish.
Irish
Bjors.
language.
Yeah.
I thought
It's like
I thought
how
woman meant. I
here-
thought woman was Colleen,
No, that's girl.
as in a child.
Yeah, well, it's.
Oh.
I was about to say here. I've always heard girleen, which is like girl mixed with Colleen, so it's English Irish mixed together. So it's like, how's it going, Garleen?
I've never
If it's
heard
like
that
somebody in
one.
their
I've never heard that
20s, like my granddad maybe would call someone
I
Garleen.
do remember those ads.
How's it going, Garleen? Sheila's wheels.
When I watched Charmed, they were always the sponsors.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For ladies who enjoy their cars, Sheila's wheels are superstars. Girls are bored beyond endurance, paying too much for car insurance. For bonds
See, this is how you sell insurance to women. Pink, lots of pink.
Girls get under Sheila's wheels. Women make the safest drivers. We could save a bunch of fibers. For bonds
That's sexist, but very true. That women are safest.
Yes, apparently. You pay much more on insurance from experience. You pay much more insurance if you're male.
Well, apparently men do crash more.
Yeah. I'm from Northern Ontario and raised in a town full of people from Newfoundland. Newfies, that's another one. You call them Newfies, right? This is wild, fake Australian. This was everywhere when I was a kid. Fucking hell. This was everywhere. This was one of the most popular ads when I was a kid. Is this fucking the Sheila's Wheels song. So that's the only reason I know the word bonzer.
Not available in Northern Ireland
Yeah.
or the Channel Islands.
Is it just for Ireland? Was this an Irish
No,
only
if
thing?
it's not available in Northern Ireland or the Channel Islands, that it's a British
Oh,
thing.
maybe. But it was definitely available here.
Yeah, well,
Or
most
maybe I was just watching Sky.
it was probably British TV you were watching. Yeah.
Sheila's Wheels, car and home. It still exists. Sheila's Wheels is based in the UK that targets to women.
So we
Oh,
probably
no.
wouldn't get it. Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. The Sheilas released a single, I'm So Happy You're Mine, by Stock Aitken and Waterman. This is purple because I listened to a Kylie Minogue album last night and quite liked one of the songs in it, so I
just
listened
want
to the
you
rest
to
of the
try and
album.
decode the most Canadian thing I've ever said.
What was it?
We were talking too much.
I don't know.
Go back up.
I mean, maybe they haven't typed it yet.
No, they have.
Oh.
This
oh.
one?
A there by stays where... Okay. Hello there, boy. Stay where you are till I comes over to you. I must stop at the Tim Hortons and get us some double doubles, which are, I think,
Why are
2
you
creams,
putting on
2
a British
sugars,
accent?
to make it more legible for the English.
Well,
Beer
you're not putting on
Bonspiel.
you're putting on like a stereotypical posh accent.
Yeah, to make it more legible.
There's
because
no-
that's the most
there's
legible
no-
accent.
is it?
I guess so. And Mikey sounds a bit like that. Like he's a cooler raspy voice. but
Mikey
he
has
a bit
the
like that
posh accent of any of the English people I've met. Well, Irish people too, because even Irish posh people sound like peasants.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
I think the most Canadian thing I've ever said, "Hey there, boy, stay where you are till I come over to you. I'm going to stop at the Tim Hortons and get us some double doubles before their beer Bodenspiel for the Legion at Lions Hall." That last bit, I have no fucking idea, to be honest. The British demand received pronunciation, see?
Well, I was actually looking up something, 'cause like I said, we went to Birmingham recently, and I was looking up accents, and the British seem to hate their own accents. Apparently, the British hate Cockney accents, the British hate the Scouser accent, and the British hate Birmingham accents. So what accents do the British fucking like? You know? Apparently Geordie, everyone likes the Geordie accent because them lads sound so fucking happy. They could be talking about the most awful things and they sound so happy.
By the way, that's what I was meaning to say before Emma rudely interrupted me, was that I listened to the rest of the Kylie album.
You do
and thought
have
it
a
was
nice voice, Mikey.
so unbelievably shit that I actually looked up who it was produced and written by because I thought it was so bad, and it was Stock Aitken and Waterman. Those unbelievably shit pop songwriters from the 80s.
Welsh accent is nice.
Hated it.
Welsh accent sounds a bit
80s
like...
Kylie isn't the best. I looked up reviews and they agreed, yes.
What do you think the Welsh accent sounds like?
I liked that one song. A Welsh accent sounds like, I don't know, really pleasant hobbits singing to
I
you.
think you can hear the Celt in it, like.
Yeah, it's a lovely accent. It's
But
probably
no-
the best
But
accent
no, but
of
you can
of the
hear...
Celts.
Like the Celts, I'm assuming our accents are all sort of vaguely similar. Because, Americans and Canadians can't tell the difference between Scottish and Irish
No,
accents.
which is strange.
Well, can you tell the difference between Canadian and American accents?
Yes.
I can't.
They say hoser. They say project.
I couldn't tell the difference between a Canadian and American accent.
I couldn't tell the difference between like a Minnesotan and a Canadian, I think.
And I couldn't tell the difference between an Australian accent or a New Zealand accent.
Beer curling tournament,
Can you
that's
tell
what
the
it is.
difference between Australia and New Zealand?
The Australians, and I don't mean to be too rude to Australians.
Oh, you're going to quote that flag
Yes,
the
I am.
words thing.
I think it sounds a little bit more evil than an Australian accent. Like it sounds like a Kiwi accent with a sneer. The Australian accent.
That's like Jeremy. Is it
Like
Jeremy? Jeremy Clement. Jermaine Clement, and he sleeps with this Australian girl, and that guy, Rhys Darby. He's like, did it sound like she was subtly mocking your accent? What did she sound like? Like us, but more evil.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a tiny bit more evil.
I can't tell the difference.
Like a tiny bit.
They sound the same to me.
Je ne sais pas pourquoi is definitely the best from that album. That's the one I liked. I was about to look up what it was because I knew it was French. But that is the one I really liked. I thought that was a good song. I heard it and went, this is great. Maybe I like Kylie Minogue. And then I listened to the album that was from, and I'm So Lucky started playing, and I went, oh, this is unbearable. So I gave it a bit more of a try and went, this is shit.
Lucky in love, is it something like that?
No, it's, I'm so lucky, 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 lucky.
I'm so lucky in love, something like
Maybe. I can't, honestly, I've blocked it out. One of the worst albums. Hang on. It's this one. Recent searches, Kylie. There we go. I should be so lucky. That's it. I should be so lucky.
Yeah, I think it's the one.
Lucky, lucky, lucky.
I actually kind of like it.
Oh, I hated it so much.
It's trash, like.
It's really shit. Chorus, please. Usually in 80s pop songs, it's 1 minute in is when the chorus starts, or under 1 minute in, because that's when people will turn it off if they don't like it. 50 seconds.
She became famous with this soap.
Yeah, this is just after Neighbours, I think. Look how big. Oh my god, my ears.
Remember when we were doing the soap games?
Yeah.
And I was going on about the Neighbours finale.
Yeah.
She was in it, sure.
Was she sure?
With the guy who was her boyfriend in Neighbours, Jason Donovan.
I don't know this. But she looks like a 12-year-old in this album cover, so instantly I was suspect.
That was so weird. I saw Kylie and Jason Donovan in
But
the
this is
Neighbours
great. Je ne
episode.
sais pas pourquoi. That's really good. That's a good song. Go listen to that one. It's one of the least listened to ones on this album. Like, I Should Be So Lucky has 21.5 million views. Terrible. Anyway, we should probably end
I
soon,
will
right?
translate. Your man's translating.
Hey, stay where you are. I'm bringing... hang on, I can't get the fucking thing.
I'm bringing
over
coffee
with 2 creams, 2 sugars before the beer curling tournament to raise money for the Royal Canadian Legion based out of the Lions Hall. It's not a bad translation.
No, hold on. Go back up to it. Now, I have to ask this question. Canadians and Americans, what do you mean by cream? Do you mean your coffee has cream in it? Do you mean milk?
No, probably.
I'm talking
cream?
to the Canadians.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Because we don't put cream in our coffee or our tea. We just put milk in it. I don't know what you mean by cream. I always see this in American and Canadian TV. They're like, I have coffee. What's cream?
Emma, this has been the bane of my life, Sambal. Emma doesn't seem to know what cream
Well,
is.
I only know cream is whipped cream and cakes.
Emma doesn't seem to know what cream is.
Yeah, see, the first pictures that show them
That's
the picture.
whipped cream.
Show them the picture.
I've showed
Show
her
them the
these
picture.
pictures.
That's the first thing that comes up for cream, is this.
Yeah, but it also shows Eric Clapton, and that's not what you drink.
Maybe some people do. when we
They
say,
mean like this, like cream.
I've never had that. Like, is it like
What?
is it like milk but thick?
Yeah, like very thick milk. It's like a byproduct of milk or something. It's like that. It's in like Baileys and
so
stuff.
you put
and you use it in cooking.
So, shush. So in Canada and America, you put thick milk into your coffee.
I think so.
That sounds gross.
I think that's what they mean.
Cream is
And then-
milk with all the fats in it.
Yes.
Yes, I
and
know. Kane has told me, but I don't know what he's really talking about.
I'm like fresh cream. This Evan
I've
Moore.
never
This
had
is everywhere.
it. I've never had.
I
Yes,
think Evan Moore's Irish.
yes, I'm sure it's in the shops. I'm not denying its existence. I'm just saying I've never had it. The only cream I know is whipped cream.
It's not quite full
In
fat milk.
Gloria
It's much
Jeans.
thicker.
In Gloria Jeans, it's whipped cream.
Yeah, have you never had whipped cream? Emma thought that whipped cream was the only type of cream.
Have you never whipped
basically.
cream by hand? No.
Oh yeah, Emma, have you never like at Christmas or something? Have you never like whipped cream when you're like
No,
helping
if
cook Christmas dinner?
No, if my parents wanted whipped cream, they bought it.
But like my parents would always like buy some double cream
You know
or
where
something.
you know where I thought cream came from.
What?
No, I won't tell you. Actually.
Please?
You'll all laugh at me.
Please?
Well, Silas, in Gloria Jeans, it's whipped cream from a can.
Mm-hmm.
And when my parents bought whipped cream, it was in a can or in like a little pouch thing.
What did you think?
I assumed whipped cream was made from eggs or something. Because your mom made whipped cream when we were there. And I was like, oh, why doesn't she just buy it in a can? Because that's what my parents did.
Well, they sometimes do, but
And
when
in-
it's fancy,
And in Gloria
my
Jeans,
parents will make like, whipped cream with like vanilla and
in
stuff
Gloria
in it for
Jeans,
Christmas.
it's just a whole shelf full of whipped canisters of cream.
Yeah.
Everyone's laughing at me.
No, I mean, it's not the most insane thing because whipped cream looks a little bit like meringue, and meringue is eggs.
Everyone has blind
spots.
spots.
It's just a really weird blind spot. I love it. I love when I find this out about somebody because it's like, because I definitely have them too.
Wasn't there something in the chat that a load of people hadn't heard of a thing?
I don't know.
And you were like, how have you not heard of this thing?
Probably.
That was recent, yeah.
But it's like, it's just... I guarantee I have similar blind spots to this. It's just fascinating how they happen. Like, it's insane to me that somebody wouldn't know what cream is. It's like a fundamental thing.
Well, it's just... my parents never bought that
You
kind of stuff.
bought me cream when I was making, like, vegan cream for making pasta and stuff.
Yeah, I was confused by that.
You never asked?
I did ask. I said, what is this?
And I said cream. And then you probably just went, oh, and then ran away.
Well, yeah, because I know that you should never be ashamed to admit you don't know something. But if I admit I don't, this is why I'm bad at learning things. Kane will tell you that. Kane will tell you this now.
Mm-hmm.
If ever I'm learning, what do I do when I'm taught something and I don't get it straight away?
You
Get
run
angry.
away and get mad?
I get angry.
Yeah, you get really angry.
I'd rather be thought
You
of.
yell a lot.
I'd rather be thought of as helpless rather than stupid.
Mhm.
Like I hate doing. If I don't get it, I know it's a silly thing and childish. But if I don't get it straight away, I'm like, oh, I'll never get it. People think I'm stupid, and I'll just walk away.
Yes.
So
Yes, you will.
I don't like to admit I don't know something. So yeah, I bought you the vegan cream, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm not going to tell him I don't know
Oh
what it
my
is.
god, Emma. That's very sweet. Oh, there's a lot more pictures of cream the band than I was expecting.
There's
by
a
the
lot
way.
more pictures of whipped cream than there is your funny milky cream.
My funny milky cream.
Everyone likes whipped cream.
I hate whipped cream.
Well,
I think whipped
I've
cream is
never
disgusting.
heard of this weird. Well, I know for a fact that in England and Ireland, you don't put this milky cream into your tea. You put in milk.
Emma, I know the thing I hate most is when I'm made to feel stupid. I'm not insulted by anything except people implying I'm stupid. Hate, hate, hate.
I'm always accusing Kane of implying.
Yes, Emma is very on guard about that sort of thing. Turns out very few people know chickens have a cloaca. I know, it's weird. And they just have one hole for everything, including their egg hole. Yep.
Draco.
Yeah, there's most birds. I know a fact. 3% of birds only have penises or vaginas.
Oh, you told me that recently.
And the rest of them all have cloacas, which is just a multi-purpose hole. It's very horrible.
No, I think it's part of my like OCD. Like I am as paranoid as anything.
Yes.
I am so sensitive. I cannot take banter and I cannot take constructive criticism.
Emma unbelievably adorably made a joke when we were in Birmingham with some friends. Made a joke like a not mean joke, but made like a bantery joke, like half insulting Nuku, and then turned to me and went, "Was that banter?"
And
which was the cutest thing that ever happened.
And I apologized to him.
I know, and then you apologized.
Well,
went, "Was that banter?"
It felt mean.
I'm sorry.
It felt like a mean joke. It felt mean. I can't do banter. Maybe it's just a neurodivergent thing.
Maybe.
I can't do that kind of thing.
It was so unbelievably sweet.
It just, I don't get that thing of where like, I'm going to be mean to my friends. I just can't do it. I felt bad about it.
I know. In my case, I guess it's because I grew up basing my self-worth on being a smart kid, probably same. So if I don't have that, what am I even? Being undiagnosed disabled in school and people calling me slurs, yep. Did you know male sharks have 2 penises for bad manhoods, for a lack of safer work term? That is so much more unpleasant to say.
Silas, you couldn't be mean even if you tried.
This is like Emma. Emma will occasionally say after the stream or in person, she'll go, "Was I mean to that person?" And I look at her like, I literally don't think you are capable of being mean. Like, I think it would actually rip you apart.
I've been mean.
Snakes also have 2 penises and 2 clitorises. But yes, most birds have cloacas. My friends in Australia aren't as mean to each other as these people in the Isles. That's weird because Australians are constantly calling each other cunt.
But they mean it in a nice way.
I know, but it's that is such a raw word here that it always throws me off guard a little bit.
Yeah,
definitely.
In England, maybe, and Scotland, I think as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Wales. And in Australia, people say cunt and it's fine. But in America and Ireland, you say cunt and people are like...
It's still like... It is part of the culture here, but I associate it with toxic masculinity. I do as well a little bit. You know, lads banter, lads on tour, bants. All my friends are neurodivergent. That would probably help as well. Do you want to end stream? You said you wanted to go get pizza.
A few more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying talking to them. Play more of your games.
Well, I want to stop now. It's quite late. I don't think I am as mean to anyone as I am to Dreya. It's a reference point for you. Even then, I only do it because I know it's fine. I think it is fine for anybody to bully me on this chat.
No one
Because I know it's not actual bullying. And even if it is, I can brush it off at this point. Calling someone a hoser is a sign of endearment. Calling someone a drunkard is an insult.
One time...
Silence!
One time I came into a chat and someone said, "Eat shit, Silas," as a friendly greeting. I started crying and I was like, no.
That sounds very like you. I could see you doing exactly that.
I probably have.
I know, I think you have.
Like when we went to Birmingham and we met some of the people. When we went to Birmingham, we met some of the people that, I don't know if I should name them or not, maybe that's rude. But when we met some of the people that Kane met and know us through streaming, whenever we were on our own, I was like to Kane, "Do you think they all hate me?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anybody, because a couple of people are here that were there in Birmingham. Any time you weren't in the room, Emma was asking if you hated her. Basically, if you weren't in the room and Emma and I were on our own, Emma was asking me, "Do you think they hated me?" Basically, constantly for the 3 days. And I was like, "Emma, please shush."
I'm not good with meeting new people.
Silas and Emma, let's open up a sensitivity click.
Oh, I am very sensitive. Very sensitive. Even when teachers, like I'm at college now, and when teachers give constructive criticism, I'm like, that bitch.
When people enter my chat, I call them a cutie.
Oh.
See, I can't be as sincere as that. I can't be sincere and cutesy, unironically, or else my brain breaks.
I think it was Aristotle.
Oh,
Aristotle said one of the best things to do is be sincere.
I know, but I can't do it.
How do you know that?
You've told me that before, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Because
Emma did philosophy at college.
our teacher, we had batches of teachers, and our first teacher was an American guy, very funny man, Jason, and he told us Aristotle's rules for life. And one of them was be sincere, and Jason, this American teacher, he's one of those very sarcastic people, and he was like, see, I can't do that Aristotle one. I can't do be sincere without feeling cringy.
Yeah, same. It's like a hangover from my youth. I cannot be sincere. It makes me feel so uncomfortable.
Thank you, Isha.
Oh, Jaws 2, I suppose.
Your chat is so nice.
They're nice to you. They're much meaner to me. They're lovely to you.
They were so nice to me when I was sick the last time. I was so sick the last time.
Oh yeah, Emma will probably be back on Thursday to play more Vampire, by the way.
Yeah, because on Friday I have to go and collect my new
We will
glasses.
actually play some of a game, definitely. See, when people apparently cause problems for someone who doesn't like being called cute, actively doesn't like it, so now I just call him handsome instead.
Is that you?
No. I hate, oh god, if somebody called me handsome, I'd gut them like a fish. Oh, I fucking hate it.
Don't
cute
tell people
is bad.
that. Now they'll tell
Well,
it. You are cute.
I will genuinely ban the word handsome before I let that happen. Cute is bad. Cute is not good. I don't like being called cute, but handsome, oh god, I'd rather slit my throat. I think.
Okay.
Hate it. Took me a while to adjust to British humor. British humor is basically just lots and lots of insults, basically, and laddish stuff, right? Lads.
Lads.
Or Monty Python, which is maybe worse. I like Monty Python, but it might be worse. Right, I am ending the stream. I've decided. So let's see if I can raid anybody. I'm like on the meaner they are, the more you like you. That's basically it. I don't know. We were just kind of talking instead.
You could have talked and played Grey's Anatomy.
Right, let me go to the full camera.
To be honest, you didn't even like that game.
I do like the game, but I wasn't able to fully pay attention to it because I was more interested in talking to you. Because I love you.
You talk during your chats. I mean, you talk to your chat whenever you stream. So how come you couldn't
but you know, I can ignore them. They're like cattle.
But you're talking. I hear you talking the whole time.
Yeah, but you're right here.
But they're talking and you're talking.
Yeah, but I'm usually talking about the game or joking it, and they're riffing on it as well. I don't mind.
You could have done that. Like,
I love you and like having you around.
When we play games together, you talk about the game. Are you going to blame?
Sometimes.
Are you going to blame me and say I didn't let you play the game? Oh my god!
Remember what I said about her being paranoid and asking stuff like this?
Are you going to blame me and say I wouldn't let you play your game?
No.
Are you?
No.
Are you going to imply it?
No, I'm not. I love you very much. I think we should never play Grey's Anatomy again. I might, I don't know. Tomorrow is Fable 2, or maybe Grey's Anatomy. We'll see. Anyway, let's see who's live to raid. Oh, you know who's live? Broseph is doing a subathon. So, let's go /raid. Broseph, and again, they need to remove underscores as a rule on Twitch. I fucking hate typing them. Broseph, I typed in Broseph the Twitch is what I typed in there as a username because I'm a fucking idiot and can't type when I talk. So
apparently you can't play games either.
Go say hello to Broseph. Put like an emote in the chat or something like that. It'll be fun. And I will see everybody tomorrow. Thank you for watching. It was fun. I'll see people tomorrow. I'll be playing probably Fable 2. And then on Thursday, Emma will be here for Vampire because that looked like the trashiest nonsense in the world. And then on Friday...
On Friday, you can come to Cork with me and get my glasses.
Oh, God, I don't want to.
Okay.
If I'm streaming, I'll be playing maybe more Fable 2 again. We'll see.
My friend came and filled my fridge with eggs. That's nice of her.
Emma only recently, this morning, learned the slang term egg for trans culture.
No, I had never heard it before.
Yeah, the sort of cracking of the egg thing. Maybe she's hinting something. Anyway, bye. Bye, everybody. See ya.